So I played 100 Days of Palworld doing a challenge where I could only capture lucky pals, which are really rare, think shinies in Pokemon, and alpha pals, which are those big bosses you see on the world map. I'm only allowed to capture these alphas once, but I can capture the dungeon boss alphas as many times as I want, as those are randomly generated and most of the time end up not being super useful to our game plan anyways. They're mainly just there to give us a reliable way to grind XP. And oh boy, this challenge is a grind. We're playing on default hard mode settings up to day 50, and then I get to change the settings to mainly make the game as fun as possible and to make possible our goal, which is capture every alpha on the world map, beat all the tower bosses, and explore the entire tech tree. I do a mini review of my experience at the end of the video, and timestamps will be at the bottom if you want to skip to any of these parts. On a normal run, you'd probably set up a base near the starting area and do the tutorial quest. This gives you quite a bit of XP and you can level up easily that way, but since we can't capture normal pals, we're not going to worry about the tutorial quest, and we're just going to get out of this area and do some exploring. As we're exploring, we're going to make sure we grab anything we come across, as we'll need these materials later, and gathering gives quite a bit of early game XP. We head down to grab this waypoint and then make our way up north to set up a base near this boss. We set our pal box up as close to the boss as we can, and then we set up some basic stuff like the crafting bench, and we build an axe. With that axe, we'll chop down some trees for fiber, and we can use that for a bow, and we'll spend the rest of the day just mass producing arrows. And just on a side note, I've not spent any time mining stone. All the stone we're using to make these arrows has been picked up off the ground while exploring. During the night, we're attacked by a herd of dire howls, and at first this catches me off guard, but then I realize I can just use a pal board to fast travel back to the starting area. Hits on sleeping pals deal extra damage, and this is further increased if you hit them in the head. And these pals in the starting area don't have that much HP, and their attacks are pretty avoidable, so there's really minimal risk of wasting time by dying and having to run back to grab our loot. Having to run back to your body is something that happens when you're playing on hard mode, and because we're playing on hard mode, we only deal 50% damage, but we take 400%, and this is going to make soloing much harder because normally on hard mode you can just have your pal tank for you, and that only takes 100% damage, but hits on the player makes you feel like you're playing Dark Souls and you only can take a couple of hits before you're done. We're now high enough level to make a common shield, which requires more fibers, so we chop for that. And a bit later on in the day, as we're exploring, we hear a noise indicating a Shinies nearby. Oh, shiny. A Lift Monk level 7? There's no way I catch that, right? One thing we could actually do is build a foundation with a little window here. Alright, let's see if we can outmaneuver this thing. Okay, juke its attack. And yeah, I think it just turned into a land ball or something, because that land ball wasn't there before. When you F up the shiny fight, it just despawns. I'm so mad at myself. We'll now try to farm some flame organs from these Charmander Eevee hybrids. We'll try to aggro the thugs to hit these fox sparks. Did it just hit that one? Yes, it hit that one. Nice. The thug is actually hitting the other one too. This is perfect. The thug too, might as well just make sure that we get XP for the thug too. A loot. He only got 1 XP because I didn't do much damage to it. Oh no, Foxbark, don't come to me. Just finish it if I can. Thank you, thug. And then I can just dip out. And then if we go back, the thug is actually still here. He's glitched, kinda. Just grab those flame organs though, and we can dip out of here. Don't mind me, I'll just grab these. And then grab the thug's loot as well. And then maybe I can actually get the thugs to attack these things. It is nighttime, so we're kind of wasting time here. Let's actually just dip out. For day 2's night, I'm trying to get more done, like we get a kill on this little thing, but we keep running into these depressos in this area, so I think I'm just going to go back to the starting area. Yeah, I should have been farming here the whole time. We got level 1 land balls, or this is a level 3 land ball. This one over here is level 1 though, and it just woke up before I even got that arrow off, I think. Kind of wasting arrows here by using arrows on the land balls too. Everything woke up, so yeah, that nighttime kind of sucked. And with these land balls, since their face is so in your face basically and it's so easy to hit, you can essentially stun lock them by continuing to hit them in the face. Crap, we're out of stamina. That's not good. I just pissed off that chickpea. We're actually gonna kill the chickpea and the land ball here. They're gonna kill each other. Very nice. I was only using arrows on the land balls to try to crit them with like a 2-tap. We got some fox sparks over here. A level 6 and level 3. The level 6 is gonna be hard for us to kill, so we're gonna aggro a penguin over to it. We attack the penguin, and then it's gonna be pissing off the fox sparks. Yes, very good. Fight each other to the death. Meanwhile, oh, this fox sparks is actually pissed off at the penguin too. We got a battle royale over here. Another penguin's coming in. Unfortunately, the penguin is very weak. Why is it attacking me? Oh, the penguin's attacking me because I aggroed the penguin initially. I see. Get some free loot off of that. And, okay, that penguin is only pissed off at me. So just run away. We got another fox sparks over here. 3 is perfect actually for the stuff we need to craft. So the fox sparks seem to be very skittish. So we're just going to piss that one off. And then aggro it towards this Gamoss. Towards both these Gamosses. Crouch behind the Gamoss. There's no way you don't hit the Gamoss, right? I don't know what you're doing over there. You're just hitting the ground. And there's another fox sparks that's pissed off over there. Okay, I'll stop crouching, dude. Like, I didn't know you're that stupid. They're both being stupid. What the heck? I've never seen this before where they just start swinging at the ground. Is it because the Gamosses are in the way? And they're smart and they know they don't want to hit the Gamosses. And that's not good. Okay, one down. That is good. The Gamosses are gone now. And yeah, now it's actually starting to swing at us. Just use line of sight though. It's not that big of a deal. I was just kind of trying to be creative with the way we kill these things. Get another level 6 fox sparks. Piss it off. Maybe it'll hit this Gamoss. No, it'll keep swinging at the ground. Alright. It's actually so funny that it doesn't want to hit the Gamoss so badly that it just swings at the ground. Okay, that actually was not funny. What we're doing. It's being smart. Oh no, it's being too smart. No, not smart enough actually. In that field we run into 3 more fox sparks and we end up killing them for their flame organs. And for the rest of the day we end up chopping trees in order to get fiber for our flame bow. We also needed to repair our normal bow, so we chopped down a lot of trees. With the extra flame organs, we're going to craft as many fire arrows as we can. These can burn pals, which does damage over time. And just like Pokemon, pals with status effects on them are easier to capture. Our base location is right next to where this Chillet boss spawns, and we're now going to aggro it. 10 damage headshot's actually pretty good for the fact that we're so underleveled. I'm actually going to crouch over here and try to not get hit by that attack. Okay, very good. And then run away. I was too slow in this attempt, but I'm trying to take advantage of the way pals are coded. Normally, if you aggro a pal and jump off a cliff, they just look at you like, yeah, I'm not that stupid. But for some reason, the Chillet tries to take a direct line to us and ignores the bridge here. You get pissed off at me. Oh. Wait, did you fall? Okay, you did fall. Very nice. Okay, this is actually a pretty good angle. Nope. I just can't see where the edge is the only problem. Yeah, set on fire. I got it set on fire, nice. We're gonna throw the pal sphere. Oh, it's moving though. Crap. Is it right there? I'm missing. Oh wait, no, I hit it there. 18%. We hit the first capture. We actually got it on the first throw. No freaking shot, dude. Level 6 captures level 11 boss. Let's go. We only get 96 XP, which is a lot for our level, but normally you get way more. And I think it's because most of the damage done to the Chillet was fall damage. Behind our base is a tree that has 3 fruits on it that can teach pals skills. And we teach 2 of them to Chillet. He already knows the 3rd. And we're now going to try to 2-man a level 13 dungeon with a level 6 Chillet and a level 6 me. The Chillet was level 11, but it scales down to our level till we're level 11. Still is doing quite a bit of damage. 137 with its Dragon Blast move is pretty good. And now it can tank these guys for us, which is fantastic. Alright, now for the magic moments. The boss is a giant deer thing, and I don't think we can take this. I also don't like how they're coming over to the entrance. I'm not sure why they're aggro to me. I don't want to reset them, but I think we'll just probably end up dying to this and then killing whatever else respawns for the XP. I don't think there's any chance that we can capture this. I'll just try to summon Chill It and then make him get some attacks off. I just got hit for 156, yeah. There's like no way. Let's have the Chill It just tank this. Let's see if we can just burst him down. If we can just take one by one in this small corridor, the Chill It just can't get knocked out. I can't really see past it, it's the only problem here. It's not actually hitting its dragon move. Or that one actually connected, and that was good. This one's actually pretty low. If we can just take it. Very nice. And then pull the Chill It back and let it heal up. While it's healing, I can try to do some damage to the other ones. But where are they? Oh, okay, it's right there. The giant deer got aggroed towards me, and I think it's too big to be able to fit through this door. So if I can just not get hit by that. Jeez. Okay, we'll wait for the shield to recharge. We are wasting time here, and the goal is to get as much done as we can in 100 days. But if we can somehow manage to take this and get it low and capture it, it's going to be worth it. Shield's back up. Juke that attack, and it's got a recharge timer on it. And we did get the burning effect on it. We could try to throw a ball and see if we can capture it. Oh no. Chill It's pretty much fully healed up, so we're going to let it just duke it out with the deer. It's definitely not hitting its dragon attack. It's getting stuck in the wall or something. But it's connecting with the electric attack. And I think it's connecting with the fire one. Chill It's dragon cannon kept hitting the wall. So I swapped out its dragon cannon ability for its ice cannon ability. And the ice cannon actually connects here only once. It does get burned there. Let's try to capture it. 15%. That's pretty good. We got the first 15. Oh, dang. Wait, still, whatchamacallit? We can't capture it. And it moved. That's not good though. I wonder if Chill It's gonna be able to hit it even though it's up that high. Yeah, he actually connected with its fire and the lightning attack a little bit. I'm kind of worried that when we throw our next Pokeball, we're gonna move the thing too far and we might like glitch it out or something. So I think I'm gonna try to set it on fire and then use a Mega Spear. We've collected 2 so far just randomly. Ouch. Okay, we're gonna wait for a second. Our shield's back up. Throw out its attack. And then set on fire. We can. Give me the fire proc. Wait for its next attack, I guess. Do one more attack. There we go. Set it on fire. Give me the fire proc, please. Give me it. You're not giving me it. There we go, we finally got it. Use the Mega Spear now. 55%. Okay, I'll throw another Mega Spear. This doesn't work. 79. Yo, we got it. There's no freaking way that we actually just pulled that off. Obviously, we just glitched the heck out of that thing. And it wasn't, you know, a fair fight or whatever. But I was not expecting to be able to pull maneuver like that. I was not expecting to be able to capture that thing. Like, if you had asked me the percentage, as soon as I saw that giant deer, I was going to say, you know, 5%. At the end of the dungeon is 2 chests where you'll usually get a ruby in each one. Plus we get a thermal undershirt which raises our cold resist and a life pendant that increases our health by 25. I also just noticed there's the legendary claw outfit schematic that Chill It drops, and it's a really low drop rate, but we got it on the first capture, which is nuts. I farmed that thing like, I don't know, 15 times in my last run, maybe even 20, and I didn't see the drop. So this is just a crazy run. In order to make the thing, we need 10 ancient civilization parts and 13 cloth, which is a ton. The regular cloth outfit is only 2 cloth. And the problem with making something that costs so much materials is it costs a lot to repair it. So I'm thinking we're not going to worry about crafting that or even the basic cloth armor for a lot of the early game until we get the right pals that can start mass producing this cloth. Right now, I have to actually go out and hunt for the wool and turn it into cloth, which is just not really worth it from my experience. I forgot to go over Chill It's trait. It has a 10% decreased incoming ice damage, but then the deer we just captured has this one that increased our player attack by 10%. And right now now our attack is 118. I've been mashing points into this every time we get a level up, and you only get 2 attack per level up. I put all our points into attack except for I put 1 into work speed because you get 50 work speed, and I thought it might help a little bit near the game. And then I put 1 into weight so we can carry 50 more. We ran out of flame arrows, which as you saw were pretty clutch in that fight. So we're gonna go take out some more fox sparks, and the deer is just annihilating these things. Since Chillet's ice type, it takes double damage from fire, so we'd rather not use the Chillet here. Chillet respawns, I believe, every in-game hour, and we do the cheese method of making it jump off a cliff and kill it for another 138 XP, which again is a bit lower than if we killed it the normal way, but we're still 4 levels down on it, so I didn't want to risk wasting time. It kind of bugs out in yet another new bug I've never seen before. I think it's trying to get back to its spawn point, and it just won't attack us back. I'm not really sure what happened, but either way, on top of the XP, we get more ancient parts and furs, and we're going to take those furs and rubies we found in the dungeon over to this small settlement, which has a trader that normally you can sell and buy pals from, but since that's against this run's rules, we'll head over to the wandering merchant that's also stationed here to sell the rubies, furs, and various food. And for now, all we're going to buy from this guy is a bunch of arrows, as I don't want to sit around base crafting these myself. The dungeon we cleared earlier is right next to a waypoint, and every few minutes I've been going back to see if it respawns. While we're waiting for that to respawn, we're going to check out this dungeon that's a bit further away. The problem with this not being near a waypoint is if we die to this boss, which is a giant elephant water thing. If we end up dying to this boss, we have to walk back pretty far, and we're going to drop our owls outside. So I'll have to get back here on my own, which is going to be very annoying to do. So we're going to try our best here to just not get killed by this thing. And crap, it's super effective against our Chillet, I think. So we're gonna let the deer go out and do some damage. The deer is only level 8. It's actually doing okay. We took out one of the ads, and what I like about the way this fight's going is the elephant is letting us just sit back and giving our pals time to heal back up. It looks like it's trying to walk towards us, but it's stuck on a torch, and I'm thinking if we move it all, we might unstuck the T-font. So I'm just going to sit here and just unload arrows into it. It is going to take a lot of time, but this method seems pretty safe. And when you have a good thing going, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You could argue this method is kind of broke with the fact that we're spending so much time. This is going to take a while. Okay, maybe we'll just summon the Chillet, see what happens. When the electric attacks are super effective against it. Very nice. We'll get out our fire bow and try to set it on fire. I'm not sure you can actually do that with water pals, but if we do set it on fire, then I'll try to toss a ball at it. We've unloaded, I think, 11 fire arrows into it, and not one has set it on fire. So I'm thinking it might be immune to fire. I'll now try to throw a long distance pal spear at it. No, we have to get a bit closer. It got unstuck too. Here it comes. I summon the deer to have it tank for us while we get closer to throw a pal spear at it, but the deer knocks it into this position, and I guess the T-font ends up falling down. Yeah, it did just fall. Okay, wait, this might actually be pretty good then. 26% chance to capture. 58. Holy. That was not what I was expecting. It just got summoned back up to the top again. If it does fall again, it might die. So we're going to really hope that this captures it. And really, you actually got that attack off. 59. Nice. Wow, we got it. It's got no passive skills, but this trait's pretty cool. It can restore health to maybe just me. To get back home, we got to go to this syndicate base camp, and there's a pretty massive battle going on between 2 giant deer and the base. And since the deer are wounded, we're able to just finish them off for quite a bit of XP. In the center of the syndicate camp, there's a pal that you can free, and it will join you. And this one's pretty good. It can produce flame organs if you assign it to a ranch, but unfortunately, freeing them is against the rules in this run, so we're just going to leave it in its cage. We were getting a little bit low on pal spears, so back at base, we crafted as many as we could. We got the materials to make these from mining in the dungeon. If you mine these blue ore nodes, you get tons of ore. We got a massive battle going on here. I'm just going to toss a ball. Okay, 0%. One mammal rest just killed another one, and I'm not sure if it drops its mats or not. Yeah, we got the mammal rest meat, 5 leather, which is a ton, and 3 high quality pal oil. I don't know if you consider these mammal rests bosses or not, and there was that little boss icon next to its name, and that may have just indicated that it was really high level. There is a level 38 that I believe is considered the alpha, so had we captured that there, I don't think we could have used it. To the north of the original dungeon that we cleared, there's another dungeon spawn point that is ready to clear. So we're going to go do that. We do get a level up and we're already up to level 9, which is really good for what day we're on. If we get one more level up, we can craft the 3-shot bow, which fires 3 arrows instead of 1. And yeah, I'm just watching this T-Font pump damage. This could be one of the higher DPS pals I've ever seen. We finally make it through this dungeon, and this layout was a freaking labyrinth. And we got a Hookrates, a group of Hookrates. Is this a bug you can just abuse with all alphas, I wonder? And the T-Font actually just connected there. It was just hitting the wall for a while. I connected there as well, getting it pretty low, and this actually might be enough so we can capture it. 14%, not great. Throw it again immediately. It's a little bit scary. You got thrown up there. What is it? Glitched? This keeps getting higher and higher. Maybe that's a bad thing. Only has a 3% capture rate. We damage it a little bit. That's good enough. I might want to throw the alpha spear, or the mega spear rather, or if that works. So we're 3 for 3 in these dungeons, which is crazy. That Hookrates has another Vanguard skill, and as long as it's in the party, we're getting another 10% to our attack. Right now, the attack's not doing too much for us because our bow's so crappy, but once we get the 3-shot bow and then the crossbow, we're going to start dealing way more damage. Before we entered the dungeon, I put the Mamara steak on a campfire, and it's been cooking the whole time. The meat's going to eventually go bad, so we made a quick stop at the small settlement and sold it. I was thinking maybe we'd get some crazy profit from this, but nah. We were able to upgrade the base a few times, and we can put 3 pals to work at our base now, which they're not actually going to do any work unless you consider killing this chillet work. We aggroed the chillet over to us, and these pals should help out once it starts attacking. There we go. And yeah, they're just going to gang up on it, annihilate it. And this is the reason why we set up our base here, because we can just farm this thing as much as we want. And it's just an easy 100 XP for us only. I think the more pals at our base that contribute to the fight, the less XP we get. So if we can solo it, then we should definitely try. The first dungeon we did respawns, and this layout's really nice. We get through it in like a minute, I want to say. Unfortunately, the boss is another deer. It doesn't seem to be able to hit the T-Font from where it's at. And the T-Font's just unloading on this thing. Oh, and there we go. It finally got a hit off. 329 damage, jeez. We could just throw pal spears from here. No, it's only a 2% chance. Might as well just use a fire bow and try to set on fire. Seems like a pretty reliable way. There we go, we got the proc. Throw spears, 15% or 16. Got the first one. The hardest one, but then we missed the easy one. Crap, it's glitched. I wonder if we can reset this. Or wait. No, it's actually catchable. Fail that one. It's going higher. Let's try again. And we get both. Okay, yes. Very nice. 400 XP for capturing that. Wow. And this one has a new trait. 10% increase to our defense. Wow. The passive skills that we're getting here for just having these things in our party are awesome. Our party is now full, so we're going to have to replace something when we capture a new pal. We're now level 10, so we can make the 3-shot bow. And in order to make that, we need a lot of fiber. I assigned one of the deer to the base, and it's now just going to chop trees for us. And behind that deer, I noticed the chillet respawned. It seems like it was pretty quick for that, but either way, we'll now take it on. And this time we're going to try to have our chillet just solo it, and it might actually be able to do it because our chillet has a fire attack, which is super effective against ice. Yeah, our chillet just absolutely annihilated this thing. It's still above 50% HP at the end, and we get 318 XP for that, so it's definitely way better to do it that way. I didn't even really help the chillet either. I was making this 3-shot bow for most of the fight. We encounter a wandering merchant that I think is random. I don't remember seeing him here before. He has a few skills that we can buy. Lock on lasers, kind of clunky to use, and I remember acid rain being pretty good, so we're gonna pick that one up. Not long after that, we head up to check if dungeon number 2 is respawn, and lo and behold, it has. So we're gonna do that. And while we're clearing this, we get a level up. One thing that was cool about the last dungeon we cleared was we found this skill Wind Cutter, and we taught it to T-Font. I think he's just going to use it in his rotation. I don't think it's going to end up lowering his DPS or anything. Dungeon number 2 is a freaking labyrinth. I still not figured out the layout to this one. And we do find a Depresso at the very end, which may actually not be so depressing because this thing looks like it has hands. It might be able to do crafting for us, something we desperately need. We're gonna let T-Font just unleash on these things. And you tell me this thing is not the #1 pumper that you've seen. Like, what the heck is this damage? It's just annihilating this boss. I gotta be careful. It doesn't kill the boss. Jeez. Now I just gotta figure out a way to get it over to me. Just start tossing pal spears. That actually almost bounced to it. There we go. Let's get ready to toss another pal spear. Don't have to. First one is a charm. This Depresso can do a lot of stuff we need around base. No one can do handiwork, mining, or transporting yet, and this thing has an amazing passive skill for a worker, plus 30% work speed and minus 30% attack. We're definitely going to plop this thing in our base, and it's now going to start crafting fire arrows while we're out doing stuff. Also at the base, the chiller respawned, and T-Font just pretty much solos it like the beast he is. Later on in the day, we take a series of L's, starting with messing up yet another shiny fight. I threw a pal sphere and it missed, but then I saw this animation, so I thought maybe it was delayed or something. But this animation was actually using some special move that maybe only a shiny Kativa has. Because I think the Kativa is being captured, I forgot to call the Hookertees back, and it finishes off the Kativa. The next L we take today is in our next dungeon attempt. I failed a fight against this Lift Monk, and I actually think I did dodge this move, but I get hit by some splash effects. Since we got killed, the boss changes, and when that happens, the rule is we can no longer capture the boss, so we end up killing the giant deer boss. This gets us to level 12, and we can now craft a saddle that allows us to ride the giant deer, but we need ingots for that, and since we don't have any fire pals, we cannot make ingots yet. Our only real option to find a fire pal right now is to keep running dungeons, so we do that, and we take another L here as the Capriti glitches into the wall. Because I would probably consider that a bug, I thought maybe it was okay to reset the boss and capture the next one, but I end up getting killed in this attempt anyways against the Celeray. Since we got killed, we were forced to kill the new Pangolin boss, and this XP combined with the XP we get from killing the next Chillet is enough to pretty much get us to level 13, and this allows us to craft the Chillet saddle, which we do have the mats for. Now that we have a mount, our overall efficiency is going to be increased by a ton, and back at dungeon number 2 we find this pretty awesome Cremis. Normally Cremis can be used to mass produce wool at the ranch, but this one has the Musclehead skill, which gives it plus 30% attack. We're definitely going to keep this thing in the party, and I teach it 3 skills, one of them being rare. In order to make space for the Cremis in our party, we're going to leave our deer that increases player attack back at base to chop wood full time. All the dungeons are now on cooldown, so to kill some time we do a bit of exploring up to this waypoint, and after we get there it's now nighttime, which is perfect time to do the penguin boss. At nighttime all the mobs are sleeping and you can take them out one by one, so we're having the T-Font just snipe these penguins one by one, and for the first one I forgot that his wind cutter attack was still enabled, so I had to go to the menu and disable that. Thankfully it didn't hit one of the other penguins and wake them up, because that attack does pierce through pals, whereas his other attacks don't. You can see he has laser-like precision. This T-Font is just sight to behold. 2 down, and now for the king. Hit him in the head to crit. And this 3-shot bow is actually doing pretty good here. Okay, he's going to charge, I think. Going to charge the T-Font, which is perfect. If it does get knocked out, then it's a casualty that we'll accept. Actually send out our deer for now. Just use this charge attack. Let's send out the Chillet. And it has a lightning attack that's super effective against this thing. I don't know what he's doing over there. I think he's glitched. We might just have a free fight here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just glitched. This is perfect. Or there he goes, he's unglitched himself. And that attack is scary. If he turned towards me, could have been screwed. I think he's shocked, by the way. Oh, my shield's broken now, crap. If we do fail this attempt, we might be able to get back in here without having to kill the other ads. That'd be pretty clutch. Let's throw a ball. And there we go, 10%, not bad. I'm just gonna start chucking balls. Until it gets knocked out, crap. There's something else out there. Got it? Oh yes, we got it. First attempt. Unfortunately, during that fight, Chillet gets knocked out, so we have to leave him in the POW box for 10 minutes to let him revive. As for the Pen King, though, he gets 10% increase to lightning attack damage, which is pretty useless because he has some really powerful ice attacks, plus a water attack as well. This guy's really good at doing stuff around the base. He's level 2 in a lot of skills, but right now we're going to keep him in the party because he's a really good fighter. Because he has 2 powerful ice attacks, he's very effective against this dragon boss, and as long as I can juke the dragon boss attacks and actually start doing damage to the boss. The Panking is taking quite a bit of damage, so if I can, I'll pull it back if I see it starting to take damage. Okay, the Panking's kind of low, so we're just going to send out our T-Font, which is not looking like it's able to really do too much damage to this thing. We might need to wait to do this till we're at a little bit higher level. Let's try the Owl, since the Owl is pretty useless. Unless I'm missing something, this thing is just not good. Crap, I just got hit by the AoE attack. I gotta be really careful here. Oh, he throws another one, and that should not have hit me. That was so far away.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
I get back to my body, and a lot of our pals are still wounded, mainly the Panking, so I opted to just run to this next waypoint. I then really quickly went back to the base to check if the skill tree behind our base had replenished its fruit, and lo and behold, it had. One of the tree's skills is an electric attack, and we're going to use that on this next attempt. Probably just fast forward through a lot of the Panking fighting it. And the goal right now is to just have the Panking avoid damage, which I did actually avoid its attack just now. I avoided that attack as well. The deer does not seem to be too good here because he charges at the boss and then just ends up tanking the boss's bubble beam attack. And it actually goes down, and it did not do much damage to the boss. We're running into the wall. Okay. Well, we had wasted quite a bit of time on that fight, and by the time we get back to base, Chilla had respawned, so we killed that. And then we checked dungeon number 3, and that had respawned. And we're now in here fighting this Gamas, which I don't know how useful this thing actually is. It is on fire. I should try to throw a ball at it. It's too far though, I think. I actually don't know how we're gonna get close enough to capture it. The play here is just to send the deer in and have it only... Okay, that move is the one that killed us earlier, and I don't know what causes that extra damage at the end. It's like delayed damage or something. Thankfully, I did have my overshield up, and so I did not get killed from that. And also, thankfully, the deer knocked this thing off the edge, which is fantastic. And we do capture it. Very nice. And that is going to be a level up, and we can now craft a spear workbench and mega spear. We can't make those because we don't have the ability to make ingots or nails yet. We still need a fire pal in order to do that. Right outside the dungeon's entrance is kind of a funny coincidence. Another Gamas that is shiny. I'm going to have the T-Font deal with this. I'm just going to aggro it, and then I'm just going to chill. Although this thing's attacks do pierce. I don't know if... Whoa, chill. Almost killed it. 20% capture rate only. Did a few more times, I guess. Is that good? 39%. Weird that a 20% capture rate does not work on a shiny. I'm actually hitting the node that I was sitting behind there with those throws. 40% get the first one. And very nice, our first shiny capture. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed that it was a lucky Gamas, because I'm pretty sure those things suck. Kind of insult to injury that we just had to capture an alpha Gamas in our last dungeon. Already kind of bummed out about that. Now we're getting double bummed. I just realized that sounds kind of wrong. So our shiny Gamas gets a special ability. Ignis Breath is a fire attack, and it's grass, so that's kind of funny. And then it also has Sandblast, which I think is the normal Gamas ability. Its traits are 10% reduction to incoming fire damage, and since it's lucky, it gets 15% work and attack. Its partner skill's pretty bad. While in team, we get more cutting tree efficiency, but we already have the deer chopping trees full time. I guess we'll just leave the lucky around base and let it plant. And we'll have it plant later, because right now we have no pals that can do watering. I take that back. The T-Font actually can do watering, but the thing's just such a beast that I wanted to keep it in the party. We're doing fine on food right now, so farming is not a big priority anyways. Once we get more pals around the base, then we'll need to start setting up farming. Dungeon number 1 respawns, and I swear the layout of this has changed. It took me forever to get to the end here. And there's a cell array, which may be able to do watering for us. We'll definitely try to capture this thing. We'll try to play this safe.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Crap, it's gonna kill me, I think. Yeah, I knew that was coming. After respawning at the entrance to the dungeon, there's a shiny Cremis. This was what we captured earlier, right? Yeah, we got the alpha version of this thing. If we can capture this, it'd be really good because we can mass produce wool for clothes, and then I can stop being naked. Question is, what angle should we attack this thing from? It's kind of in the open, which I don't really like. Just go for it from here, and then sit behind this node. Just be really careful that our T-Font is not pumping too much. It's about good. Hopefully, I did not mean to do that. Mistakes were made. 47% capture chance though. 33. Ooh, we got it. Yes. This Cremis needs to eat more often and gets those lucky bonuses. I'm not sure if work speed ends up increasing its wool production though. So we can start making wool. We need to make a ranch. And right now we just use all of our stone to make the stone pit. But once we do that, we won't have any stone problems because the Depresso can mine stone for the most part full time. It is also having to haul stuff around too. So I don't know how much mining it's actually going to do. Since we died, the boss resets and it's a Fox Sparks, which we really want to capture because we need a fire pal in order to make ingots. Rules are rules though. Unfortunately, we cannot capture this thing. Dungeon number 2, it also respawned, and the alpha boss in here is a Mao, which is actually pretty cool. It's getting pretty low. Let's toss a ball at it. 19%. Just get ready to toss another one. Oh, we got the hard one, but then missed the easy one, unfortunately. Gonna miss the 19, that's fine. Let's get ready to throw another one. We got the 19, got the 52, and that means we caught it. Before we check out the Mao, really quickly, I want to farm some fiber for the ranch. And early game, a good way to do this is hunt these who crates at night near the starting area. Each one of them drops 4 to 5 fiber. We've now got enough fiber to set up the ranch, and we put the Cremis in it, which is now going to start generating us wool. And the Mao, which can dig up gold coins. We'll leave them here for about a day and come back and see what all they've made us. None of the dungeons had respawned yet, so we do a bit more exploring, and my route here was not the smartest. We go past a really high tier area where there's level 18s to 20s, and we aggro this enemy that's pretty high level, which scared me and prompted me to jump off this cliff, which I was planning on doing anyways because we had to get to the other side, but I wasn't sure what was considered shallow and deep water. And with deep water, if you run out of stamina while you're swimming in it, then you drown and have to walk back to your body, which would have sucked because we were pretty far away from any waypoint. That being said, we get this really weird glitch that at first I thought, we were screwed, but with this glitch, we're actually able to climb underwater. So we're able to just walk / climb to the other side. And we do eventually get to the waypoint we were looking for, so that whole thing was not a waste, thankfully. I checked dungeons 1 and 2 and they had not respawned yet, but dungeon number 3 had, and inside we have a Cativa. As our penguin was fighting this thing, I think it knocked it off the edge, or it glitched in the wall. We can't make it to the end of the dungeon without killing this thing, so I'm thinking for the sake of the challenge, it's okay if we reset it here. And it's a Gamas. Heck no. I'm resetting it to something else that's not a Gamas. Okay, it's a Lift Monk. I'm fine with anything that's not a Gamas at this point, honestly. If we get another Gamas in a normal situation, I'm completely fine with having to capture that. But since we just lost out on something that wasn't a Gamas because of a glitch, then I'm completely fine with resetting into something that basically isn't a Gamas. And speaking of working, this thing is a workaholic, so its sanity drops slower, meaning that it can work for longer without having to relax. This thing can do a lot around base, mainly something else that can do handiwork's really nice. It's been, I don't even think, a day, and we can check out the ranch. We are getting tons of wool and coins. 33 wool already. I think it having more work speed is actually making it produce more wool, but I'm not sure. We'll turn this wool into cloth and we can use it to make some really basic clothing. At night we go back to the penguin boss and take him out for some extra XP. And then we head back over to clear out 2 dungeons that had respawned. In the first one we catch our second Hookrates. A strategy we could try later is stacking these in our party with a really powerful Dark Pal to boost its attack. In the next dungeon we managed to glitch this Killamari into the wall, and after resetting we glitched this Pangolin into the wall. I reset one more time and decided on a soft rule. If I think something's going to be glitched into the wall, I gotta kill it and just finish the dungeon. And I just want to remove any temptation to abuse the reset mechanic. We do another attempt on the Lady of the Lake, and this time because we're higher level, Panking's able to pretty much solo it. We get really lucky with catching her on our first sphere throw, and then get even luckier by finding a lucky Daydream in our first level 19 dungeon attempt. We'll now aggro it and use line of sight around this pillar. Just let the Panking go to town on it. Since it's level 21, I'm not sure how effective our Pal Spears are going to be. We have 30 Pal Spears, 6 Megas, and 1 Giga, which I don't want to use a Giga if we don't have to. We found those while we were exploring in the scary area. And that's scary, what the heck? Why are you up there? I think I'm donezo here. Ball. Oh wow, we actually got the whatchamacallit on it. I don't think we captured it. Yeah, we didn't. Just run. This is so awkward. fact that this thing can fly or glide or whatever. It's not something I was expecting. Just chuck balls, like, I don't know. This is so awkward. I thought we were gonna be able to line of sight it. It's gonna glitch in the wall, I think. No freaking way, I just glitched in the wall. Wait, it's not fully glitched though, right? If I throw another ball, I think it's just gonna... Oh wait, I might have glitched it out. Okay, run. Escaped, but yes, I got it out. Okay, we need to set on fire for sure. As a fire bow does percentage damage. Yeah, it's burning now. 5% only. Okay, we have to use megas, I guess. Just use a mega because it's burning. 17%. Yeah. Come on. No, you idiot. You're gonna burn to death. 15. We only have 3 megas left. We got the 15. We got the 46. Oh, let's go. For capturing that thing, we get 1000 XP. And we can try our hand at the final boss in this place, which does not look like it actually spawned. I guess the shiny was considered the boss, maybe? I don't know. It's the first time I've ever seen that before. This Lucky Daydream has some interesting traits. First of all, Lucky gives it 15% attack and work speed. Aggressive increases attack by another 10%, but lowers its defense by 10, as does Conceited, but then it gets another 10% work speed. Then Clumsy lowers its work speed by 10. So overall it gets 25% more attack, minus 20% defense, and plus 15% work speed. It can do handiwork, and no one was making these pal spheres, but now it's going to go over and do that, which is really nice because we're going to potentially need them pretty soon here. Since we have so many water pals now, I thought maybe we could handle this level 23 boss fight. The Lady of the Lake has a 10% increase to water damage passive, and it's a water pal, so that's pretty awesome. What's not awesome is the way this thing maneuvers around. Its combat style seems kind of like a fish out of water. Alright, I've never done this fight before, but we'll try. 559 damage, what the heck was that? Why is she not attacking? Use literally any water attack. Okay. She's just unable to attack, like, I don't know. Panking crits the boss for 28, and the boss hits Panking for almost 600, so needless to say, this is not looking too possible. With that body slam attack, Panking managed to push the Bushy into the wall, and it's now stuck. I tried a few different attacks on this thing, and were not able to hit it in that position, but Chillet's Dragon Cannon was able to. And to speed things up, I taught Chillet Water Gun, which is super effective against this boss. Towards the middle of the fight, you'll notice Chillet's attacks are doing barely any damage, and that's because he's starving. I was a bit late on feeding him here, but thankfully it doesn't look like pals can get knocked out fully from starvation. I'm gonna get him down to pretty much 1 HP, and then we're gonna throw a Mega Spear at him because we really want to capture him. Could even throw a Giga. There's no guarantees it will actually hit though. Let's just do it anyways. 30%, come on. I'll throw the other Giga too. Don't test me. Oh, we got him. Let's go. That's a lot of XP, 1600. Whoa. The boss is probably a really good fighter with his passive skill, and we'll test it out later. But for now, we need his level 2 kindling to finally smelt ingots for us. And we are a bit low on ore, so we're going out to mine that while doing our dungeon runs. I don't know if these ore nodes in the dungeons are like the blue ones, where you get more from hitting them. It doesn't feel like you get more, but maybe you do. If we do get a metal pickaxe, we'll be able to mine this more efficiently. And in order to make that, we need ingots, which we do have enough for. But we also need to make a high quality workbench, which requires a lot more ingots, and nails, which require even more ingots. We're going through our low tier dungeon runs, and we have a chickpea that we could capture maybe. It is at risk to be glitched though. We set on fire, so it's a pretty high chance. It does escape. This throw glitches it into the wall, and I shouldn't have done it. I knew there was a chance it would glitch, but I really wanted to capture a chickpea because I've never used it before. I see it. Come to me, chickpea. It's like that scene in Interstellar. Wait, I got it. 30? Come on, just capture, please. Of course you didn't capture, but it's out now. 28, come on. This is like the 4th 30 or 5th. Seriously? I'm about to just throw a mega at it. Let's do a fire bow attack first. Set on fire. There we go. I just threw a mega and I missed. Yo. You cannot make this up. 41%. There's no way, right? Try again. This is probably the last attempt. And it's gonna glitch. 71. Okay, yes, we got it. I have never captured a chickpea before, so I don't even know if it's good. The chickpea is nimble, which isn't going to help it too much, I think. it's going to be just sitting in our ranch making eggs. This is nice because I think our berry farm sucks, and I'll get into why in a bit. We make the high quality workbench, which allows us to make a mega shield, which is 2.6 times bigger than our current overshield. Our goal now is to farm a ton of ore so we can make some big upgrades like the crossbow, but first we're going to clear out some low dungeons in search of some more pals. And because we're running these so quickly, I run some extra dungeons along this path, starting from the small settlement. As I'm trying to capture our second chickpea, our Daydream finishes it off. With Daydream's necklace, it will always be out as long as it's in the party, but obviously Daydream attacking things that we're trying to capture is very bad, and it doesn't attack very often, so we're just going to leave Daydream back at base. As we're heading to our next dungeon, I hear another shiny noise, and I spend quite a bit of time looking for this thing, and after searching for it for about a day, I concluded it was glitched in the wall or something, so we take a minor L there and just keep it moving. You may notice our glide looks a bit different, and that's because we made Celery's gloves, and as long as it's in our party, we get a bonus to our glide ability. It seems mainly like we can just glide for longer. We captured the Celery in a previous dungeon and go on to capture another cremis for more wool production if we want, and then in the next dungeon we get our first Dinossum, which is a pretty awesome dragon leaf pal. It's, I believe, our first level 2 planter, plus once we're level 19 we can make it saddle and mount it for some cool bonuses, which we'll end up doing. We then capture another Teofont, and this one has an interesting trade-off, 10% more attack but 10% less defense. In the next dungeon we run into our third Gamas and kill this thing. We don't need more Gamas's around base. And speaking of the base, it's really inefficient. I've been trying to craft these pal spears for forever and no one seems to be able to get time to do it. And then I've also been trying to craft the legendary cloth outfit just to see what stats it has. It looks like the Daydream is actually working on this. Of course, as I start complaining about our pals being inefficient, then they start being efficient. Then this way, I mean, the Daydream comes over here to our berry farm and it's gonna harvest the berries. There's unfortunately no way in this game yet to assign manual priorities, because if I could, I would just have Daydream be crafting full time. And so I think we're just gonna end up destroying a couple of our berry farms. We do not need 3 for the amount of pals we have at our base right now. We're making way too many berries. And also this berry farm shouldn't be this far away from everything else. And crap, I'm carrying too much stuff right now. I put our one berry farm right behind our workbench so we can be more efficient that way. And one cool thing about Daydream is you may notice it's nighttime, but it's still working. And it's the only one working, except for actually the Depresso is still working. Both these pals, I guess, don't need to sleep. Let's follow the Depresso to see where it's going. And it's going to go mine. So one thing about the mining pit is they made it take priority over other jobs like crafting, which makes no sense. The mining pit should definitely be like the last thing that these pals prioritize. If there's absolutely nothing else to do, then they should come over here and mine. That also is the case with the lumbering camp. This takes priority over a lot of stuff. And so when you have enough wood, like we do, we have 744 extra wood plus 130. When you have too much wood, just destroy the logging site. And also we have 300 stone, so we'll just destroy the stone pit for now. Pretty much immediately after doing that, the Depresso comes over here and starts crafting our cloth outfit. And these guys in the back are now planting our red berry farm. And then we're gonna have our penguin plus the Lady of the Lake water that. And there's really no watering jobs to do right now, so we don't need the Lady of the Lake actually at the base. We don't really have anyone to swap her out with. I guess we could just throw in another cremis just to produce more wool. We are gonna move this base anyways, as we're pretty much done farming the chillet. 350 XP for killing this thing is not that much anymore. I'm gonna miss the skill tree in the back of our base though. We get fruit from it once every couple days or so. It might even be more often, I just haven't been checking that much. We finally built all the stuff required to get our base up to level 10, so we can now have 2 bases, and it's gonna be really easy to move our base. Before we move, I cleared dungeon number 1 again because it's right next to the waypoint, and we found another Daydream, which is nice. I noticed Daydream's really good at hauling because she can fly. And then at the end of that dungeon, we found a rare crossbow schematic, which I'd like to make, but it requires a ton of ingots and nails, but it is 2 tiers higher than the normal crossbow, and it might be worth it to make. We had a little bit of time to kill, so at night we go kill another penguin boss. I'm not sure if it's worth it to do this anymore, because we get what, like 600 XP and some parts. Since we have a bit more time to kill, we'll see how much XP we get for clearing out a level 19 dungeon. But not too far into it, I hear this shiny noise, which is kind of wild. This is our second level 19 dungeon attempt, and our second shiny encounter inside of a level 19 dungeon. Would you look at that? The shinies, yet another Daydream. Because fire arrows do percentage damage, we had limited time to capture this thing, so I decided to use mega spears. Okay, we set on fire. Let's toss another mega at it. Come on, just capture, please. 23. Got the easy one, and very nice. We get, what was that, nearly 1,000 XP for capturing it, and its trait is not anything special. I think waterproof just lowers water damage done to it by 10% or something. And yet again, there is no final boss in this dungeon, so I'm guessing the lucky just takes the space of the final boss. I thought doing that dungeon was going to give our pals enough time to make this saddle that I've been trying to make, but I don't think anyone was really working on it while we were out. That being said, now that we finally have the deer saddle, we can mount the deer, and this thing is a little bit quicker than Chillet. I'll put their exact movement speeds on the screen. Another cool bonus with the deer though is it can double jump, which is definitely going to come in handy. The deer also has this move Antler Uppercut, which I'm just spamming when it's off cooldown, and it feels like it's really increasing our movement speed. Would you look at that? As we're exploring, we run into yet another shiny. This one's level 27 though, so I think it's gonna be really hard to capture. I aggroed these thugs over to it just so they'd help us out, and we do have 3 daydreams following us. I put them all in our party because I wanted to see if Daydream's necklace would make multiple of them follow us around, and that does appear to be the case. I'm not really sure what to do here. I guess just aggro the thing, and then maybe the daydreams will help us out. Ouch. It goes through the ore, and so does that move. Okay, it's got 2 moves that ignore line of sight. Maybe ore nodes are not really considered line of sight, but it's got little buddies that are helping too. Well, mistakes were made. For some reason, it totally slipped my mind that dying that lucky fight would make it despawn, and we do end up getting killed by it because I was not playing it nearly as carefully as I should have. Our legendary armor broke, and I don't think it's worth repairing it. It's not much better than our regular cloth armor, and it costs ancient civilization parts to repair, and we do have a lot of these right now, but I think we'll end up needing them later. I think we'll just use the regular cloth armor because it takes like 1 cloth to repair. We make it over to Icewind Island, and there's a couple of alphas that we can capture. The mud's really good, and we're going to try to capture him right now. You'll notice he's only level 14 though, and a lot of the mobs here are like level 3, level 2, and just really low level mobs in general. This is pretty odd because in order to get here, we had to pass by a lot of higher level mobs. It's like they meant to put this place on the other side of the map, but just forgot or something. I'm not sure. This thing's pretty low. Let's toss a Pal Sphere. It's only level 14, so we can just use basics on it. We got the first 14. And we actually captured it. Wow. So I didn't see what this pal's trait was, but the main thing with it is it has level 2 mining. So it's gonna be really good for our next base because we need pals that can do level 2 mining. Right now, only our penguin can do it at level 2. Before we set up our mining base, I want to capture this Nightwing, which is a flying mount. And this is also on the same island as the mud we just captured. I'm not sure exactly how we want to play this fight. We'll try the fire boss against it though. We'll see how he fares. So far, he's doing a good job of just 1v1ing it. 208 damage on an alpha is really good. I think with these alpha bosses, you can only deal 10% damage to them. So that would be what, like 2,000 damage? Now my shield's down, that's not good. Bushy just gets owned by that attack, whatever that was. And these guys are helping me with the boss. Sure, they're hitting it really hard. It's getting pretty low. Let's try to hit with the fire attack. We do set on fire. Hold this guy back. Throw a spear. Should probably use a mega here. This fight is just so annoying. But I don't know how far away it is. I'm just wasting megas here. Please. No way. Okay. That was a waste of like 5 mega spears. And holy crap, we captured it. These little guys almost killed it. I'm not sure if you need a flying mount to get where we're about to go. You may be able to climb to it, but let's just say having a flying mount makes getting here a lot easier. This spot is one of the best mining bases as it has ore and coal nodes, and we're going to need coal in our not so distant future to keep progressing. So I thought it was just worth it to skip over some other early game mining bases and just go straight for this one. It did take a bit over 3 days to fully set up this base though. The main thing that took a lot of time aside from getting here was moving everything from our old base to this one. There is a trick you can do by dragging a resource and hitting tab, which then exits that screen, but you're still able to drag the resource. You can then bring it over to a chest near the PAL box to drop it off, and then load everything and teleport to the other base to drop it all off there. You also may ask why move everything and destroy the old base when you can now have 2 bases. What I have found, as well as what many others have found, is that having 2 bases is not good because the efficiency of one of them will be grinded to a halt. The game just doesn't seem to be able to handle multiple bases well. So yeah, we're going to stick to 1 base for now. I spent a little bit of time trying to create some cool structure in the middle, but I'm not sure if pals can get stuck on it. So I just scrapped that idea and I put everything on the outside. So there's less chance that pals can get stuck. We got our farms over here and then our pal sleeping spot. We got a hot spring, some production buildings. Like we got the mill, I believe that is, and then our workbench, our forge, and then I did actually have our stone pit in this area. We mined like 300 extra stone, which we need for a lot of stuff, but since we don't need stone anymore, we're gonna let everyone go to town on these ore nodes, and I hope when we come back we're gonna have a lot of ore to work with because we need a lot. And before we head out really quickly, we're gonna check out the PAL statue where we can enhance our capture power. And before the most recent patch, this was actually hurting your capture power. There was some kind of bug, but now apparently it's fixed. And as we find these lift monk effigies, which are essentially little green collectibles, and we just need one more to get to the next tier. And I see one pretty far in the distance. I should go over there and grab that really quick. And already our capture power is rank 4 now. We'll now start attempting some level 19 dungeons to get some more pals. And in these level 19 dungeons, there's a new selection of pals, and they're definitely better on the base. I'm not sure about their combat stats. I guess their combat stats are better as well. On the first dungeon, we got a sweepa, and we failed trying to capture a lucky version of this earlier. This thing can do cooling and planting at level 2, I believe, and we don't really have anything that can cool around base unless we want to leave chillet at base, but chillet's just way too useful. I believe the deer knocked this thing off the edge. I want to set it on fire so we get the higher chance. I don't know if we want to use regular spears for this. Try. 10%'s not bad. Regular spears are really easy to make. Might as well just use regulars for now, because pretty soon we're not going to be able to use them anymore. And there we go. After 14 spears, I think it was, we finally captured it, plus 861 XP. In the next dungeon, we find this really cool univolt, which I believe is faster than our current deer. I used our deer to knock it off the ledge again, and after finishing off the ads, we got a pretty easy fight here. I tried to set it on fire, and I did. And then the mega is not going to hit, I guess. That was weird. Oh, we need to do a little bit more damage to it, I guess. Set on fire again. Capture rate 31%, whoa, and we got it. Very nice. If we make Univolt's saddle, we deal extra electric damage while riding it, but our current weapon sucks, so maybe we'll check that out later. For the next 6 days, we're going to be running level 19 dungeons, and we get some decent pals. The first being 2 Mozzarinas that can make milk for us to use as food ingredients. This Mozzarina is going to be sitting around our ranch from now on, but the next one does have some combat potential with 2 attack traits and 1 that increases water damage. We next captured 2 Arsoxes. The first one's going to be our new Kindler, as it gets 50% extra work speed with Kindling level 2. The next Arsox has 20% extra attack, which boosts his attack up to a whopping 328. We pick up another Demud, and even with his bad trait, he's got level 2 mining, so he can help us mine ore. At the end of this dungeon, we find a lucky Woolly Pop next to the Alpha, so we're able to capture both. We'll plop the Workaholic in the ranch to see what cotton candy is. And as for the lucky, it has a pretty scary fire ability that almost gets us here, but not quite. We do end up using a Giga Spear to catch it here, which we can now make at level 20. And this one has some really good fighting skills. Unfortunately, even with these skills, it has pretty low attack, so we probably won't end up using it. Because the Arsox we captured earlier can do kindling so well, we can now use the fire boss in our party. You may notice this thing is level 23 and not downscaled to our level, and that's because I found a mod that removes the level downscaling if we capture high level pals. Without the mod, we could just grind level 19 dungeons over and over to progress, but now there's actually a reason to challenge our lineup against higher level pals. And we'll start by trying to capture this level 23 Quivern, which is dragon type, so ice moves are super effective against it. And the fire boss Bushy does have an ice move on a relatively low cooldown with a pretty good amount of power. Poison Blast is pretty spammable because the number next to CT is only 2, whereas like this move has CT 9, so you can't really spam it. It's got a longer cooldown. Our Chillet's ice missile is also super effective against dragons. And then Pen King has 3 ice moves that are super effective against dragons. He might be able to solo it, although he is only level 20. We'll lead with the fire boss Bushy. This thing's sleeping because it's nighttime. It's a good opener. We should actually probably be using fire arrows for this. I should have made the fire crossbow a while ago. I'm guessing it's a higher chance to ignite the target. We got the proc there. Very good. And this thing is something you gotta run from. It's a water move, so it's gonna be super effective against Bushy. Gotta remember to unsummon him when that's casted on us. Well, he's doing really well here. The Quivern hasn't even hit him yet. Thing's getting pretty low. I'm gonna try to set on fire again. I did. Use the Giga Spear. I just made a couple of these. 33%, holy crap. Let's hope we capture it with one of these Gigas. Crap, it gets away. That's not good. 34% though, and crap, one more. Might not hit. Oh, I missed the Giga. That's a big fail. I don't even have that many megas left. Start throwing megas, I guess. 12% chance. And another. Said, oh crap. Well, there's a saying, proper preparation prevents poor performance. And I do now have the proper preparation with the 5 gigas. My armor's damaged though, so in that regard, my preparation is not proper. We're gonna start with the Panking this time, and I'll wait for that attack to start doing damage. Then it starts coming to me. Oh crap. Run away. That attack's pretty avoidable. It's getting pretty low, set on fire. And let's capture this time. Come on, baby. Got the first one yet again. It's like the 3rd time we've done that. First one again. And it breaks out. It's not on fire anymore. Get the first one again. And we capture it. Yes. So this thing doesn't have the best fighter trait. Gets more work speed but less defense. It is really good around the base though. 2 mining is mainly really helpful. And then it's also really quick at transporting, I guess. Also, we can ride it as, I believe, a much quicker flying mount. But that requires level 36 for some reason. So we're going to have to wait for quite a while before we can ride it. We're going to use the Quiverin in this fight against a level 23 boss. And Quiverin is super effective against her with his dragon move. She's dark. So far the fight's about even. They're both about half HP. Juke that as well, very nice. She keeps trying to chase me, and it's giving Quiverin a lot of time to just do work on the boss. She's on fire, and she's pretty low. Let's toss a Giga, 30%. And we get it first try, very nice. What I really like about this boss is she has transporting, medicine production, and handiwork level 2. And I hope she'll prioritize handiwork over everything. Her passive skill is also really good. 20% increase to movement speed, so she'll be quicker to maneuver around base, better at transporting, and better to get to our bench to handiwork. And then if she's hungry, she'll be quicker to eat food. I also taught her this really hard-hitting dark move, which has a long cooldown. Shadow Burst has a bit lower cooldown, does a bit less damage. Then Dark Ball does even less damage, but has a really short cooldown. Those moves are all really effective against this neutral pal Fangalope, and we're going to try to take him on next. The entrance to Fangalope's in a pretty sneaky spot. You got to go to this waypoint and then head down this river to the ends, and there's going to be a waterfall. And inside that waterfall is Fangalope. What I like about this fight is we're not technically in a dungeon, so I can just pull him back into this cave, and he's too big, so he can't really follow me. And I can just keep rotating out pals to eventually whittle him down. Eventually he does reset back to his original position, but his health does not. And this is good because in the open, Catchus is able to own him. In tight corridors, one of her moves, I think it was the strongest one, kind of glitches into the wall, so it's not even able to hit the boss. He's on fire. Let's toss the Giga. He might glitch in here is the only problem if this does not hit. We got the 26. We captured first try again. Wow. Back at base, we're going to use our Pal statue to enhance Catchus's work speed. We can do this with Pal souls that we've been finding on the ground, and we're going to buff her work speed maybe 3 times, I guess is fine. And we also buffed Bushy's combat stats by 3% each, and then earlier I buffed Chillet's stats by 3% each. We've had a Pal in our ranch making cotton candy, but it only gives 5 nutrition, and I couldn't find any recipes involving cotton candy. Right now we're just cranking out pancakes using flour from our wheat field and milk from our cow that we captured earlier. And these give a ton of nutrition, 42, which is way more than the cotton candy. Not really sure what the point of cotton candy is. Maybe you can sell it. Either way, we're going to unassign Woolly Pop from the base, and we're going to put Catchus in the base. We'll take out Fangalope for now. And check his stats, by the way. It's a -1. He just needs to eat more, which is fine. This thing is slightly quicker than our deer as a mount, and like our deer has a charge move, so we might actually want to ride him. At level 26, I believe, is when you can craft his saddle. Pretty much immediately, Catchus goes over towards our weapon workbench, and I think she finished this musket for us, which I've been trying to craft for a while. We unlocked this at level 20 or 21, and this thing has 1,000 damage versus our rare crossbow only has 406. The musket does require coarse ammo though, which is pretty expensive. It requires 1 ingot and 1 gunpowder, and the gunpowder is not a big deal, but we're kind of low on ingots right now. Surprisingly, even with all the miners we have around base. And this is a weird bug. I can't pull the ingot out of the furnace. I had to reload, and I could. We actually have quite a bit of ingots ready to smelt. I think the dragon's really helping out. Mainly because like our Pen King, for example, who has mining too, has other duties that he prioritizes like watering, whereas the dragon doesn't care about too much else. It can gather, so it's going to be harvesting our farms, I think, once that's done. But for the most part, it's going to be over here just chopping away at these ore nodes. And right now we need ingots in order to mass produce Giga Spears. We're able to make 7 more. then Catrice immediately is going to come over here and do that, which I love. She gets that 20% movement speed to get over here quicker, and then she starts just cranking them out. Since we now have 16 Giga Spears, we're going to try to take on this Leaf boss, Patalia, who's level 28, and fire is super effective against her, although she's got a water attack, which is not ideal, because that is super effective against fire. I should have just been using Fangalope in this fight the whole time. It doesn't care too much about that water attack. And Fangalope is similar level to Patalia. It's only 3 levels below her. Oh. We'll use our dragon for this fight, as it does have 1 fire ability, and it's got the most HP out of any of our pals, and it's level 23. New plan, for the most part, we're not going to use any fire pals. We're going to let Bushy lead because he has such good damage and he can get in the boss's face really well. I really like that attack where he just gets in front of the boss and tanks for me. I think I'll send the dragon out until the boss gets in a really precarious position. And then I need a bodyguard to help me. Ow, I gotta keep moving. So that attack ignores pillars. She has multiple attacks that ignore pillars. It's kind of brutal. Really? She's getting pretty low. I set her on fire. 2% only? Whoa. She's set on fire. She's poisoned right now. I knocked her out of the ball. Here we go, 20%. Come on. Get the first 20. No freaking way. 20% again. No! Wait, can we capture her still? Wait, did we get her? Wait, we caught her? After the fact? And no freaking way, we actually caught her. She gets 10% decrease in incoming water damage and 10% increase in dark damage. As for her skills, Bubble Blast seems pretty crap. I took that move away from the Lady of the Lake and she started to move properly before she was bugging out. Seed Machine Gun seemed pretty powerful, and then Aqua Gun's pretty spammable. Also got Wind Cutter, which is a really spammable ability. We'll have her use that for sure. As for her skills, she's got Planting level 3 and Handiwork 2. That'll be good for her later. We do want her in our party right now though. We'll now have Patalia try to take on this level 31 Elizabeth, who appears to be glitched. She's trying to use a move to get to me, I guess, and she just cannot. So yeah, I think this is actually going to be pretty free. The question is, will we be able to capture her with our 11 gigas? And there she goes. She's unglitched now. And she's now going to duke it out with Patalia. And she does have an advantage because she's a boss. So Patalia only does like max 10% damage to her, I think. She does the full damage back to Patalia because Patalia is no longer a boss. There are also some Beer Guard guards in here, but they're glitched out. I don't know what's up with them. They're not even helping their Empress. Yeah, this again is one of those fights that's in a cave, but it's not considered a dungeon, so the boss can't get to us. She is getting pretty low, and I'm scared to even use our firebow to set her on fire, because the damage from that might finish her off. So let's just throw a sphere. And we actually hit the 10%. We capture, no freaking way. The bee guards are still patrolling around here, as if they're still trying to, guard their queen. Let's get in here and grab this Lift Monk effigy if you guys don't mind. And I'll grab the chest at the end for another Gigasphere. This bee's confused. Like, where the heck did our queen go? Yep, I stole your queen, my friend. So Elizabeth gets 10% decrease incoming lightning damage and has Grass Tornado, which has a really long cooldown. Spinning Lance has about a half the cooldown, but still does a ton of damage. And it's her exclusive skill. And then Poison Blast is pretty spammable. We've also got Wind Cutter, which is, again, pretty spammable. I think we'll trade that out for Grass Tornado. So she's got 2 really spammable abilities. And if we want to do another really spammable ability, Air Cannon is very spammable. But I think we'll keep Spinning Lance on her because it does so much damage. And it's her cool skill. She has a whopping 415 attack, which is by far the most out of anyone so far because she's so high level. And as for her skills, we don't really need her to do anything around base. We have all that pretty much covered, so we'll keep her in the party. We finally got enough ingots to build a large toolbox, which increases productivity of pals, but it doesn't say how much and what the AoE of this thing is. So I'm just going to put it in the very center of our base. And I'm hoping it's going to buff their mining ability because, yeah, I just want to be able to mine these ore nodes quicker to be able to mass produce ingots. I'll also use Pal Souls to buff up Elizabeth, and she got like 30 or 40 attack from 3 attack upgrades. And then I buffed her defense and her HP a little bit. Then I also buffed both of our Demud's work speed, which is something I should have done a while ago. I put 6 Pal Souls into buffing their work speed to 9%, and I should have probably done that on one of our Demud's because it's clumsy and it loses 10% attack speed, so it's probably a waste of souls. So apparently Apparently I cannot read. It says it improves handiwork efficiency, so I just put it next to where all of our handiwork production facilities are going to go. I'm just going to move all of them to this area. On our way to the next major boss fight, we passed by this level 17 alpha. Yeah, we haven't caught this thing before, so might as well. I was able to just catch it with one basic pal spear, which is pretty much free. We're not using these anymore anyways. And this thing is a mount with the same speed as Chillet, but it got the swift trait, so we might actually use that for running dungeons because our giant deer cannot fit in dungeons. The Chillet's pretty small, so it can fit, and the Grintail might be small enough to fit. The main boss we're after is this Mosandro Lux, level 31 electric, and we're just gonna let our Battaglia open on this thing. Should be a really easy fight because it's in the open, so I have unlimited places to hide. We'll try to just set it on fire and then toss a Giga. I'd like to be able to set it on fire and poison it though. That'd be nice. But it is set on fire. And then the bee did a poison attack. I don't know if it actually worked. 11% only. We got to first 11 though. We actually catch it. So yeah, this guy has 3 electric attacks. This thing has a really long cooldown. This one a bit less, quite a bit of damage still. This one also has a long cooldown. I need to swap it out for not a spark blast. This ability sucks. Maybe shockwave. As for its skills, it gets 20% increase to movement speed, which is really cool because you can mount this thing as well. And while mounted, it can rapidly fire a grenade launcher. We need to make its grenade launcher though, which we can do in a few levels. I think it's like level 25. This thing isn't the quickest mount though. It's 100 movement speed slower than Chillet. As for its other skills, 10% decrease earth damage, and it loses sanity quicker, so it's not as good around the base. There's a couple of alphas down here that we're going to try to capture. Univol is another electric, so we don't really need him. It's the same level as the electric we just got as well. We can mount him though and swap out our level 23 deer and have a much higher level pal in the party. 10% chance is not the worst. We get it there. Missed the 40 though, unfortunately. We get the 10% again. And we get the 40 this time. Very nice. We capture him. This Univol has a bad passive. We just won't have him work around base, which is fine. He's not great around base anyways. And as for his skills, I think dump lock on laser for shockwave, I guess. As we're exploring, we run into a Skyrim meme. The dude used to be a tough trainer, but took an attack to the knee from a giant pal. He gives us 5 palladium fragments. Very nice. The main reason we're down here is for this level 32 Lunaris, who is normal. So Elizabeth's dark attack is going to do more damage to her. And she is only 1 level above Elizabeth, so we might be able to do this pretty easily. We only have 8 gigas, so we're not too well prepared, but we do have the fire crossbow now, which I'm guessing is going to have a higher chance to set her on fire. I think costed ingots, so I did not want to make it really, but I thought might as well. She's pretty low. 4% capture chance from the lower tier spear. What about the giga? 9% only? We get the 9. No way. Oh, dang. We got the 12 again. We missed the easy one. Dang. We'll go back and try more attempts on that boss in a bit. In the meantime, we are running low on ingots, so we're going to go farm some more and try to capture this King Paka. We missed our 3rd giga. This is our last giga. It's not even on fire at this point. We got to hit this giga, right? And we do, yay. We made the King Paka saddle, which I believe was required to get the help carrying supplies bonus. It can be ridden, but it's really slow, so we're not going to use it for a mount. It's 10% increase to water attack damage. This trait's not great, so we're probably not going to level it up. For level 23, it does have a crazy amount of HP though. I'm now going to go out and mine some more myself. And we can see with the King Paka in our party, our carrying capacity has increased by 100. To increase our carrying capacity even more, we could capture this Alpha Broncherry. It is only level 23, but maybe it has some really good traits and we'll want to level it up later. Elizabeth poisons it, and we're going to try to use a Giga here. Only brought 2, which works out. We made the Broncherry saddle, and if it's in our party, we get another 100 carrying capacity. We're now going to go on a mining run, and we're going to bring this Gamos that I just captured. Not long ago, we passed by the alpha boss version of this, just on the world map, so we were able to capture it once. And it does have this mining foreman trait, which supposedly increases our mining efficiency. There's ore nodes in dungeons, so I thought why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get some experience and pals in the process. In this dungeon, we catch our 2nd Gale Claw, and if this things in the party, it makes for, I think, the best glider you can get. In between dungeon runs, I decided to get this dragon, who is a pretty big upgrade to our flying mount. Not speed wise, his speed is actually pretty similar to Nightwing, but because he's 6 levels higher, higher and has much better combat stats, so now we don't have to keep a level 24 Nightwing in the party. This fight is pretty brutal, as not only does this tornado attack follow the player, there's a bunch of ads nearby trying to kill us. It takes a little less than a day and a half to finally catch the dude, and I could have definitely played this a lot better. It's not my proudest moment in the game for sure. We next go back to capture Lunaris, and this time we have plenty of Giga Spears. If we keep her in the party, we get 80 increased carrying capacity, but unfortunately she is negative 10 to defense, and we have a ton of lightning pals, so we don't care about her getting a boost to lightning damage. She can do handiwork level 3 though, so she's going to be a great addition to the base. We find this Goree Rat in another 29 dungeon, and this thing has a good fighter trait for plus 15% attack. It has a special ability, full power mode, that gives it a huge temporary boost to attack, and it comes with 2 ground moves, so I taught an extra one, and ground moves absolutely annihilate electric pals. We do the electric boss, which I should have done a while ago. I didn't do her because we didn't really find any amazing ground pals, and the reward for getting her is pretty crap. It's just ancient tech points, and we have plenty of those. Since we're so over leveled, we also only get 900 XP. I think if you do the boss around her level, it's like 2k XP, which is a lot for level 13. Goriro does really well against this next lightning dragon hybrid. This thing's really good at generating electricity, which I think we'll need in a bit, but unfortunately has a bad trait for working around the base. We're gonna finish up catching the other level 30 bosses, starting with this ground grass hybrid Warsect. We'll probably start using him as our new electric counter because he's ground type, so he gets a plus 20% bonus to his ground type attack moves. Warsect does have less attack than our monkey, but way more defense with his hard skin trait, and gives us a 5% defense bonus and applies fire damage to our attacks, which is a bit strange because he's weak to fire. I guess the best defense is good offense or something like that. Next we get Broncherry Aqua, the water grass hybrid version of Broncherry, and it does do watering level 3, but we already have the Lady of the Lake for that. Warsect is really good against Beacon, another lightning pal, and if we stand above Beacon's enclosure, he can't get to us, so this is a really easy fight. Beacon is a much quicker flying mount than the one we currently have, but in order to craft its saddle, we have to wait till level 34, and I feel like our progression lately is kind of slowed to a halt. By day 51, I did do much better than on my test run, but I do want to do some more adjustments to now make the game a bit more fun to play. Up to this point, we've been playing on hard difficulty, and since I feel like this may be a pretty initial release of the game and they might do a lot more updates, maybe they'll add an expansion later, I want to try to quickly get through the rest of the content. So we're going to buff the XP rate up to 3 times, and we're going to go through the other settings and adjust them a little bit, like PAL capture rate. I don't know why that's 0.8. I guess it's a little bit harder in hard difficulty, but all that a lower capture rate really does is make it so you have to make more spears to be able to catch pals, and it just adds more grind. I also really am not a fan of the damage from player multiplier at 0.5. I'm going to crank it up to 1, so we're dealing the same damage as our pals, and I'm going to lower the damage to player multiplier down to 1, so we're taking the same damage as pals, so I don't have to just sit back and do nothing for fights. If we go down a bit, we can see some more settings. Gatherable items multiplier is only 0.5 on hard, as is dropped items multiplier. On normal, it's on 1, and we're just going to crank that up to 1. And I don't know why raid events were off up to this point. If we go back to hard, we can see that by standard it's on off. Maybe there's another setting that I forgot to change to make raids enabled. I just thought we couldn't get raided at the current base we're at because we're up on a hill and you have to have a flying mount to get to our hill. Also, I'm not a fan of the death penalty where we drop all items and pals when we die. I think in future runs maybe I'll play with this, but for now it's just kind of preventing me from wanting to explore in certain directions. And if you get killed in a bad spot, then it can take forever to get back to your body, and then mobs can be camping your body. I've had that happen a few times and it was just really annoying. So we're gonna have no death penalty, and essentially we're gonna be playing on normal difficulty now. I think since we're now taking normal damage, and I finally feel like making the metal armor is gonna be worth it. We found a rare metal armor schematic a while ago. This thing costs a crazy amount of ingots. I'd also like to make the helmet, but that is another crazy amount of ingots. I guess I'll go on a mining run right now. As we're doing our mining run, I decided to just finish this dungeon, and we can now see our capture chance is a bit higher, and we do end up getting lucky on our last giga here with the 3 times increased XP rate. We're now getting 9.5k XP, I think that was. And outside there's kind of a massive battle going on, and for each mob we kill we're getting like 500 XP, which is pretty nice. You'll notice the level 18 Gale Claw isn't one-shotting me anymore. I actually feel like I can play the game now and not have this weird rule where I take 4 times damage. That actually is still quite a bit of damage, even coming out from a level 18. We're level 25. To be fair, we were only using the cloth outfit, which is the most basic clothing. And now we have the metal armor, which is a lot more defense and health. We also gathered enough ingots to be able to make the metal helm, so we'll do that as well. And while we're waiting for that to craft, we'll go out and challenge the next tower boss, which we can actually see from our base. And alright, so I have no idea how this boss fight's gonna go. I do know that she's a grass type, and well, that's 300 damage from just our fire crossbow, because fire is super effective. She's a grass pal, so she takes more damage from fire, but she also has a water move, and I think that's it. Yeah, only 2 hits and I'm half HP. Like, the game is not easy by any means, and if you're not playing on the hard mode. And tornadoes ignore line of sight. Okay, because we died there, we lost a little bit of durability on our armor, not much, and our helmet did lose a lot of durability, although we now have the metal helmet, which is way better than that helmet. Before we do another attempt on the boss, I went to the southwest down to Fisherman's Point, because down here you can buy high quality POW oil, and we need, I think, 12 of that. Flame organs are also really cheap down here because this is a fire zone. I think they're 100 gold at the other merchant, and this guy has 2 fire skills for sale. You can buy as many of these as you want. We'll just buy 1 of each. And we taught both those fire skills to Lysandra Lux, who we'll be using in this fight. Flare Storm does have quite a big cast time though. And then Ignis Breath, I believe, requires you to be really close to the target. We had 2 more fire skills back at base. Ignis Blast has really low cooldown, and I think has really low cast time. And then Flare Arrow also, I believe, does not have a cast time. I also just realized I forgot to buy the POW oil, so I had to come back for that. And since we're down here, we're going to sell off a lot of stuff I've been collecting just from running dungeons and killing bosses and stuff. And then we also have some extra schematics that we won't need anymore. With that high quality POW oil, we can make Lysandra Lux's grenade launcher, and Lunaris is going to come over and do that with her 3 handiwork, and she's able to make that pretty quick. Well, relatively speaking, this thing takes, I think it was 1200 work to build, which is quite a bit. She had to go eat food, and then our equipment comes over and starts building it, and the dude only has handiwork 1. That's a really frustrating part of the game where you just can't assign people to do certain things and they just do whatever they want. I do want Quivering around the base because he's got 2 mining, but I don't want him to take up our handiwork tasks. Anyways, so we got the grenade launcher built, and we can now mount Lysandra Lux, then use his special skill. Grenadier Panda is actually the right click. Wait, he can fly? Or what's going on with that? I'm gonna have to right click and then hold it, okay. And that seemed like it set the girl on fire. I don't know if it actually does fire damage though. Do keep in mind I have the runner trait for this Lysandra Lux, so we're 20% quicker. And one thing I did just find out is you can just spam this rocket move. Doesn't seem like it's that great though. Only dealing 200 damage, so I don't think it's super effective against her or anything. I'm also just not going to mount the Lysandra Lux because it can use those moves which are doing way more damage. I think the grenade move is more for just clearing mobs as you're traveling around. You can just toss some grenades in an AoE and you can AoE down mobs maybe. One thing I've been forgetting about in these fights is using Gale Claw to outmaneuver projectiles. Like that one we can get out of by using Gale Claw. And that one as well. It's getting down to the wire. We have 2 minutes left, and I think we're on pace, but I'm not sure. Our pals are really low HP for the most part, although I've been playing really safe with them lately. Like, I just avoided damage with our dragon just now. And I'm starting to use the fire arrow crossbow, which is what I should have done the whole time, simply because the musket takes forever to reload. We can actually make the handgun now, but it requires quite a bit of mats. And we actually have the mats, so we'll make it after this fight. She's trying to chase me and use some type of AoE move, but if I just don't let her get close enough, then I don't think she'll actually use it, and the pal can just keep wailing on her. And with Gale Claw, she cannot even get close. And oh yeah, we definitely got it. Finish on Lysandra. And there we go. For killing the boss, we get 21k XP. That is what I'm talking about. And we're now almost up at 27, so we can make Hyper Spears. At 26, we unlock Power Generator, which costs a whopping 50 ingots. Jeez. I made the handgun, and we're going to try it against a level 35 Grass Pal Verdash. The thing does 350 damage, whereas the rifle does 1,000. The main thing I like with the handgun is it doesn't have a long reload time. Whereas a musket, you just sit there and you're reloading for most of the fight. And if you perform an action, like you try to dodge a move, it will cancel the reload. The boss is doing that thing again, where he's been trying to chase me for the last like minute or two, trying to use a melee move on me. but I'm just not letting him get close. Normal Sandra Lux is just wailing on him with his fire moves. He's getting pretty low. We can now start tossing some Gigas at him, and we are about to be done with Gigas, so might as well just use them, even if it's only a 7% chance. Was that? He's getting really low now. And summon the pal. Hopefully we can set him on fire. I don't think there's really any chance that we can do this. 7% chance. Oh, we got the 7. We missed the 34, unfortunately. This fight's not that hard, so I wouldn't mind coming back. We got the 7 again. Dang. Got the 7 again. Missed the 34 again. Got the 7 again. Missed the 34 again. Got the 7 again. Missed the 34 again. Got the 7 again. Got the 35 this time. 14 gigas later, we do capture. And outside, there's a battle going on. And one thing I did forget about is you can fire your gun while you're riding Gale Claw, which is sick. So Verdash is going to be our second pal with Handiwork level 3. His trait's not good, but it's not that bad. He just needs to eat a little bit more. And unfortunately, he doesn't have any special moves. Since he's grass, we'll just let him use 3 leaf moves. And he does have a partner skill. While we're fighting with him, we get more movement speed and get grass damage added to our attacks. We can also now make the Hyper Spear, which costs 3 ingots each, and the Spear Assembly line, which allows us to make spears quicker, and that costs 100 ingots. Holy. The problem with the increased price of ingots is like we're not really making ingots quicker, so I can see why people were complaining about the late game being a grind. So that we can mine a bit quicker, I'm going to do something I should have done a while ago, which is run level 19 dungeons till we find this big boy. I did cheese it and probably reset like, I don't know, 15 or 20 times it felt like. We finally found him. We'll hopefully capture him now. One trick I found when resetting these guys is throw your pal and aggro him on the boss and then run away. And when you get to a certain point, the pal icon will disappear. And that's the point, I believe, when the boss says reset. You don't have to run that far. But yeah, I really don't want to mess this up. So I'm just going to mount our flying pal and just kind of whittle this guy down myself. And while we're doing this fight, I can explain what the reasoning was that I wanted this guy and why I cheesed it. So the guy is actually bugged around base, which is why I didn't actually want him. Or at one point he was bugged. I don't know if he still is bugged, but essentially the bug is that he can't really mine very well. He mines at a very slow rate, and we will test to see if that is still actually the case. Kind of messed up here by not bringing enough gigas as well. We only have 6 megas, but we have 45 regular spears. If I have to, I will use every single one of those regular spears because I do not want to have to reset for this guy again. You can catch him out in the wild, but with the rules of this run, I cannot. I have to catch him in here as an alpha. We set him on fire, throw the giga, 64% chance. There's no way, right? Just break out, do it again, and we can't even do it again. So we need to hit him. And we do capture him. Very nice. The dude does have a good trade, 20% increase the movement speed, so he would be really good to mine around the base because he has 3 mining, so he can get to those ore nodes quicker. And it does actually seem like he might not be glitched anymore. He seems to be cutting through this coal node pretty quick. And no pals were able to mine coal just yet because you have to have level 3 mining to be able to do it. But he can. With the bug, people were saying he was only dealing like 1 damage to nodes. So he might be fixed. The main thing I wanted him for was to bring him out to help us mine. And if we activate his Drill Crusher ability, you can see the dude is not messing around. Wow. I am watching this thing mine an ore node and it's only dealing 2 damage per hit. And our other pals are dealing 32, so I think it actually might still be bugged because yeah, it is hitting a lot of times, but by the time it hits, you know, 15 times, our level 2 mining pals have already hit it once or twice. So I don't even think it is actually a better miner, and it's making this really obnoxious sound that I don't really want to be hearing while I'm back at base. Hearing those loud thumps is annoying enough. And then you add on top of that the chainsaw or whatever the heck that sound is. I will say though, for mining runs, this thing's pretty sick. We need some more palladium fragments. This thing's able to mine out 77 of them it was in a matter of seconds. We use those fragments to make the Palsphere assembly line, which is next to our power generator that we just built. And I wanted to put this thing in a spot where it wouldn't glitch out pals, and I hope I've done that. I also wanted to put it close to our toolbox because it's a handiwork required skill. Now that we built this, we can start making hyper spears. So it's a requirement in order to make hyper spears, and they are just coming out quick. Or I guess that's just a visual thing. I don't think they're actually coming out that quick. 3 pals are able to come over here and work on it all at the same time, which is beautiful. What's not beautiful is the cost of these things. You need a lot of mats to make them, and you need a lot of stone for the cement, which is really annoying to get because we have to build a stone mine, and then all of our miners are going to go over and mine that only. So we'll stop making ore nodes for a while. It may seem like I am complaining a lot, but if the stone mine worked as it should, and if pals were done mining ore nodes, then they came over to work the stone mine, there wouldn't be any problems. But as it is, they prioritize it over the ore nodes, which just does not make sense. Well, I will say it looks like only 3 pals are able to work the stone mine at once. So if we just load our base up with miners, then maybe we can just run this thing full time. On the bright side, while mining this, our dig toys is not making that obnoxious chainsaw noise or whatever that noise was. And he's just making the quiet mining noise. I just realized we're only level 27 and there is 50 levels of tech, and the grind is going to be insane. So I'm thinking we buff the gatherable items multiplier all the way up to 3. Each ore node is now giving us 120 ore. And let's grab this stone node while we're at it. And we are extremely overburdened, but we can use the grappling gun to get back to the waypoint. Thankfully, that was really close to the waypoint, and we can dump all that 150 stone from one node plus the 120 ore into our box. I will say that multiplier is not increasing the amount of stone we're getting from our stone mine. We're still getting 1 every so often, so we might have to actually go out and mine some stone ourselves. My thought process with that whole thing is A, I'm just trying to, get through the game in a reasonable time, and B, if the game was working as intended, we should have 2 bases, and once we get to base level 15, we should be able to have 3 bases. And if we did have 3 bases that were working properly, and say maybe they had shared storage, which would be really cool, we'd be getting 3 times the ore. But as it is, I don't even know if our 1 base is working properly. Sometimes I come back and I find that it's not really been generating us much ore at all. So I'm going to take matters in my own hands here. Instead of, rage quitting or something, we're just going to fix the problems that I see are there with some kind of band-aid touches, I guess. While our miners are busy mining the stone, I'll put Dig Toys in my party and have him use Drill Crusher on ore nodes that are really close together. Drill Crusher does increase the damage he does to nodes, but when it's on cooldown, he'll use his own kind of lower tier version of it, which does a bit less damage, but it's still dealing way more than, 2? It's weird how if he's not in the party, he does like 10 times less damage to nodes. Pretty sure that's not intended. Because we now have hyper spears, we're hopefully going to be able to capture this level 38 grass boss. For some reason, there's a lot of grass bosses in the mid 30s, so we don't really have an option when it comes to type. I just want to capture this thing because it's level 38, and it may be able to take on level 38 dungeons. And there's a lot of really cool pals in level 38 dungeons, a lot of types that we need, like fire pals. The boss ends up getting stuck in this position twice now. Earlier she was stuck in it for like 2 minutes, and then she unstuck herself, and then now she's stuck again. So yeah, I would say just kite her around pillars from the center, just go to one of the pillars in the corner, and then just try to drag her over there. She's on fire. Toss our ball at her. 13% capture rate's not great. Yeah, this is where the game starts to suck when it comes to like the grind, because these spears are not cheap. And it's still only 11% capture chance when she's not on fire. We finally get to 10 though, and we get the next one. So we finally capture her on, what was that, the 5th spear. It's not bad. She's a leaf pal that's a little bit resistant to fire damage, which I guess is nice because she'll probably be fighting some fire pals coming up here. Poison fog will poison the target, which is nice because that will increase the chance we can capture. And we'll probably just have our other 2 moves be really spammable moves that have low cooldown. Speaking of level 38 grass pals, we got a Wumpo Botan, another alpha that's in the world that we can capture. And I did forget to bring our new grass pal to fight him, but it's okay. I think we should be able to handle this. We hit the dude pretty low, and I tried to set him on fire to increase our capture chance. And it took, I want to say, like at least 20 fire arrows to set him on fire. I was beginning to think he was immune to it or something, but we finally do. The 15, got the 46, phew. We got him. So we have yet another 38 grass pal at our disposal. He can be ridden at level 45, but he is extremely slow. So I don't know why you'd want to ride him. His stats also aren't really that great for level 38. He can do transporting at level 4 though. I wonder what level 4 transporting looks like. At level 28, we unlock the Giga Shield, which we're now building at the production assembly line, which needs electricity, but produces items at a faster rate. And you can have, I guess, up to 3 pals working on this. I swear there was 3 just now, but here's only 2 are gonna work on it. Oh, there we go. Our third one's coming over to finish it off. That thing was made really quick. This thing has a bit more than double the shielding of our old shield. We'll try the 2 level 38 pals we just picked up against this level 40 ice pal. And fire is super effective against this thing, so I'm just gonna use flame arrows. She gets pretty low, and we send out our new bug with the poison ability to poison her. We're gonna start just spamming spears at her. But on the 3rd, we actually capture her. Wow, very nice. 30k XP for that. We now finally have a high level pal that's not a grass pal, and this girl can actually make a high quality cloth at the ranch, which so far I haven't heard any mention of high quality cloth. She is an ice type, so we probably should have her use only ice moves. She does get a 10% increase to earth damage, but we don't care about that. Back at base, you can see there's a serious lack of transporting being done since we got the increased mining rate. There's ore just littered everywhere, so I'm gonna go around and grab it myself with the mega grappling gun. The logistics of this really don't make a whole lot of sense. My max carrying capacity is 450. How am I able to carry 2k worth of stuff? We'll have Sibilix try to duel Mamorest, the king of the forest. The first boss pretty much that you come across in this game. She's actually doing really well. She hasn't got hit once. The dude's already down to about 2 turrets. Getting pretty low, so we send out Valet to poison him. And I'm not sure if he can get set on fire and poison at the same time. We might as well just toss a spear. We get the first check on our first throw. And we get the second one. Wow, that's 2 pals in a row that we got really lucky on. So the king of the forest is a grass type. I thought he was a grass ground type, but no. His exclusive skill, Earth Impact, does deal 100 damage though. He can be ridden, but we don't really care about that bonus. And his trait is good for keeping him around the base, which we might do because he has level 2 mining. We breeze through level 29 and 30 and unlock the handgun, which we might as well make. We can get the pal oil really easily, and we can make the handgun ammo too. We're still not getting raided, so we don't need defensive walls or metal structure set, but we did definitely unlock the pickaxe and helmet to improve mining efficiency of pals. And also we should probably try the single shot spear launcher, which can capture distant pals. Our metal armor is almost out of durability, and I will say it did last quite a while, but the ingot cost is crazy to repair this. 31. If we were playing with normal gathering rate, that would be enough to probably make me rage quit. We're now in a new zone, the fire zone, and we're gonna try to do some level 38 dungeons. It does appear we might have the wrong layout for this zone, as upon entering this place we immediately get blasted by dudes with flamethrowers. The dungeon layout for this place is a lot different than previous dungeon layouts. Previously they look pretty much all the same, but this one is just massive. Thought we were close to the end just now, and I guess I took a wrong turn. We do finally make it to the end, and oh no, it's a fire pal. We do really want a fire pal, don't get me wrong, but we might not be able to beat it. Our lineup is pretty crap for this. Fire is super effective against every single high level pal we have, and our moves are not effective against fire. I should have at least brought some ice moves and taught them to our grass pals. But they just fell off the cliff. That's pretty nice for us. I'm not sure why he's using a lightning move. We did also make the new handgun, and this does even less damage than the other handgun, but you can fire it super quick, and it holds 8 rounds. It's just the ammo is more expensive, which is more farming, but we've kind of fixed that issue, so can't complain too much. Violet's poison is normal effective against fire, so we toss her out, and then hopefully that move actually does hit. I think it did. We'll toss a spear. 10% chance. Not great, but not terrible. And there we go. On like the very next throw, we do capture him. I was not expecting that. For completing the dungeon, we get defense pendant +1, which is a lot more defense than our old pendant. It's +50 on top of the old pendant. Plus we get a innovative technical manual, which teaches us 2 tech points now. And we get a new mat that we can sell to traders. This thing's got the mine foreman trait, which we don't really need, but it does have 2 fire abilities. And we'll actually have it use Ignis Blast because this is really spammable. Flare Arrow is not really that spammable. Spirit Fire only has 7 cooldown, it's not terrible. Also, while it's in the team, it gives us a 10% boost to our attack power. In the sand zone, there's a level 44 ground dark type boss, Menacing, and our grass should actually be super effective here. So we're gonna try to take this boss on. Getting a level 38 is going to massively increase our power level. We brought 3 level 38 grass pals, and they all know 3 grass moves. We could have actually brought 4. I didn't realize this was one of those fights where you can just kind of cheese it by dragging him into the cave. We are absolutely annihilating this dude. Already down to half HP. I just don't think there's much chance we capture him. Although we did make 63 hyper spears. And holy crap, we almost just killed him. He's down to 17 HP. Hopefully he's not poisoned or something. He's not. Might have glitched him in the wall just now though. Not quite. He's flying. He definitely might glitch. Let's just run this way. Try to drag him back to his... Oh, we got the first one. We got the second one? I have no idea what that was all about, but we'll take it. So this dude is not as good around the base, which is fine. We're gonna be using him for a while, as attack and defense are extremely high. We'll actually boost his stats using Pal Souls. Each time we do this, we're getting like 20 attack and defense. To do it any further, we need a new type of regent. Never seen purple Pal Souls before. We also might as well just top off the dude's max HP as well. He's gonna be really good because he's a dark ground hybrid. So not only does he use ground moves more effectively, and he has 3. Rock Lance does a ton of damage but has a massive cooldown. Never seen a cooldown that big. Sandblast doesn't have much cooldown, and Stone Cannon has a medium cooldown. We could also have him use Stone Blast, which is less cooldown. Might as well do that. 2 kind of low cooldown ground abilities and then 1 massive cooldown one. Well, now Menacing, duke it out with this Electric Dragon Pal, Dinosaur Lux, who is level 47. Thing has a bit more HP than him, and it is alpha, but ground types are super effective against electric, and electric is not that effective against ground. But yeah, like right there, you saw Dinosaur used an electric move against Menacing, and the text was gray, indicating that it's not very effective. I think it does half damage. I'm not sure. It's one concept that I didn't really understand till pretty recently. Is that not only are pals super effective against others, they are also not very effective against others. It's kind of hard to know that because there's no text or anything indicating it. And I just realized that dragon move is actually super effective against Menacing because he's ground dark hybrid. Dragon owns dark. So we got this thing really low and it's glitched. I'll try to set it on fire. We did set it on fire, very nice. Let's use the rocket launcher to try to capture it. 0% chance. Oh no. We got about as low as we can, and there's just no chance to capture it, I guess. We need better spears. We could go back and grind through old contents, but I want to get to the next spear rank, so we're just going to speedrun this by cranking the XP rate up to 20 times. We're going to go back and do just a couple of the grass bosses with Goblin Ingus, and he's just going to light them up. And with this XP rate, 1 kill on this boss is essentially 20 kills on the boss. As you can see, I'm over the grind. Before killing the boss, we just got level 33. And after killing the boss, we're up to 34. That's just 1 level up. Whoa. You would have to grind that boss 20 times for a level up at this point. What the heck? With that level up, we made an improved furnace, which can now smelt refined ingots, which we need coal for. We got plenty of that. I was noticing there was a few tasks that weren't getting done, and the beacon seems like it does not want to generate electricity. And then over here, we got Wyvern and one of our crafters that are kind of glitched, I think. I have no idea how they got down here. I think I should probably build a wall over here just to make sure they don't fall off randomly. Might have had something to do with this spirit assembly line because they both can do crafting, and maybe they somehow just fell off the edge while they were crafting. I don't know. You know, these pals are just so stupid. Like, there's so much crappling on the ground. But this Gory Rat, who has transporting rank 3, wants to prioritize chopping trees. On the bright side, we are now high enough level to be able to make the beacon saddle, and this thing is much quicker than our previous flying mount. It seems like it has a lot more stamina as well, so it can fly for longer. To get the next spear rank, we need 1 more level up, and we should be able to get that off this electric boss. And we'll let Menacing just eat this thing alive. We got to level up off the boss, and we unlocked Ultra Spear. Each spear requires 5 refined ingots. These take a while to smelt. We also unlocked Spear Assembly Line 2, which I don't even want to build. I'd rather just make spears at our old assembly line, but we need to build this to be able to make Ultra Spears. We need 100 refined ingots for this. You've got to be kidding me. And 10 circuit boards. In order to make circuit boards, we need pure quartz, which I don't even know where you get that, and polymer, which we can easily make. And then also for the Ultra Spears, we need carbon fiber, and we can make a ton of that out of coal. And then right now we have 32 refined ingots smelted. And you can see how slow this process is. We need a smelter level 3 or 4 for sure. To get a PAL with kindling level 3, the only PAL I know that's possibly catchable at our current level is this one, Suzaku. It's 1 level higher than Menacing, and so I'm thinking if we get it low and then poison it, we might be able to capture it. We also did teach Menacing a very powerful water move that's got a really long cooldown. And I just realized our Godfin actually knows 2 water moves. I might have taught them to him a while ago and then I just forgot. Thing's getting pretty low and I think we just poisoned it. We're just gonna have to toss a spear. And we get a 4% capture rate. Well, I'm down to just throw all our spears and try to hit that 4%. That's only 3% if it's not poisoned. And we got it too low, so we're not gonna be able to poison anymore. Let's toss a spear. And 0% chance. Okay, I give up. We'll just kill it. Back at base, one of our 2 Arsoxes is feeling down due to bad work conditions. And I only see 1, so I'm almost certain 1 did glitch somewhere. And our Ping King fell off. Literally and figuratively, kinda. We almost don't need his level 2 mining anymore. I've been looking at this Demud for a little while, and it says this thing seems hungry. I do think it's stuck on this rock. So I spent a couple days farming mats, and we made 24 Ultra Spears, which we're now hopefully going to be able to use on this Dinosaur Lux to capture it. It's getting pretty low, so we're going to try to poison it with the Valet. There she goes. The thing's poisoned. And we'll toss an Ultra Spear. 8% chance only. Jeez. We gotta poison again. We'll start tossing spears. It's 9% chance because it's a bit lower. The first one. Seriously? 9%. Got it. 9. We don't even have a chance to get the 38, it seems. I don't know. Got the 9 again, but like this isn't even gonna pop, right? Oh no, it does. Oh, we actually got it. For capturing that thing, we got a ton of XP. I think we were level 38 before, and there wasn't really anything all that good that we skipped over. Like refined metal helmets and refined metal armor is pretty good probably. We do actually have a good amount of refined ingots now. I was kind of saving them earlier. The main thing I want is the double barrel shotgun and the shotgun shells. The Dinosaur Lux is electric dragon, and it does have 3 electric moves. This one's massive. It's kind of a mid-range cooldown, and then shockwave's pretty spammable. It gets plus 10% defense and 10% increase to ice attack damage, which isn't really going to help us as we go into this next fight against a water pal. And in the area is a shiny, which we've not seen this shiny for a long time. The shiny is only level 25, so I don't know if we're going to use it. I don't even know how good it is. We'll have Valet poison this thing, and then we have 49 hyper spears that we don't really have a use for anymore. On to the next tier, and wow, 58% chance. And we get it, very nice. We'll check that thing's stats in a bit. For now, we're going to catch one of the 2 alpha Jormuntides on the map. It's the only pal that I know of where there's 2 alphas of this on the map. But the first one doesn't have any cool traits, then maybe the next one will. It does appear that our Dinosaur Lux is not like fighting in the water. I'm just going to use this giant AoE ability for 266 damage against the alpha. That's pretty good. We're doing pretty good against this thing, and we do get it poisoned. We can start tossing balls at it. 9% chance is not bad. Oh, we missed a second, unfortunately. 12% chance. I think we shocked him maybe with our electric pal. We get that 43. Wow, that's lucky. So first the Serpent has level 2 watering, which we have something that has level 3 of that. And so even though it is lucky, I don't think we're going to be using it. Can be ridden to travel on water though. Might be pretty quick on water. Because it's lucky, it should have come with an extra move, but it just has lock on laser, which is pretty easy to find. You can buy it from merchants. And Dragon Cannon might have been the ability it comes with because it's not a Dragon Pal. This ability is really spammable. Aqua Gun has a bit longer cooldown, but it's also pretty spammable. And Hydrojet is also really spammable. Be a good pal to just be running around with to mow down water pals for pal fluids. And we could actually just make the saddle and try that out. Or on second thought, the Jormuntide can also be ridden to travel on water, and we can make that saddle right now. It also gets a 20% increase to water attack damage. I wonder if all Jormuntides get that or if we just got really lucky. Aqua Gun's pretty spammable. Aqua Burst is not, and Hydro Laser is not, but they deal so much damage. It says on our map that we defeated both Jormuntides, but we only defeated one, and there is 2 alpha versions of this on the map, so I feel like we could go capture the other one, and we'll see if it has that Lure of the Sea trait. I went to the other Jormuntide spawn location, and it was not there, so I think you can spawn in either areas maybe, and for that reason, we'll just treat it as if there's only one alpha version of this on the map, so we can only capture one. We'll use the Jormuntide to take on this Fire Alpha Suzaku we fought earlier, and we got the double barrel shotgun crafted now. I didn't see how much damage that did. Hit right in the face. That deals 2 damage there, but then 6 damage there. I don't know if I hit in like a special spot or what. And there's Jormuntide's Beastly ability, one with a huge cooldown I think. and that one also has a pretty big cooldown. I also did make their single shot rifle, which isn't actually much better than the gun before it. The ammo is way more expensive, so I didn't really feel a need to go over that gun. Crap, we're getting pretty low. It's daytime, so I gotta swap out my clothing for heat protection gear because we're burning in the desert. And just as I thought, I get nailed. The next attempt goes in a pretty similar fashion, getting pretty low, and we just start spamming spears at it. Come on, capture. Burn in here. Yes. We don't really care about Suzuku's skill, it just doesn't need to eat as much, but we have plenty of food. Does have 3 fire abilities. Actually 5 fire abilities. We won't worry about his abilities just yet because we're mainly going to use him as a level 3 kindler, and we're just going to have him sit around base smelting really fast. We're kind of running low on cash, so I'm going to do a trade run that I meant to do for a while. We've just been getting stuff from beating bosses, and the new Regent Emerald only sells for 1k each. Thought it was going to be a lot more because it's a new thing. So we're now in the Frost Zone, and I did not realize this, but this boss is actually not Frost. She's Dark. We have 2 dragon hybrids with Jormuntide and Dynasum Lux, and Jormuntide actually knows 2 dragon abilities, which are going to be super effective here. This is another one of those cave fights, and she's bugged out now, and she's set on fire. Jormuntide's Dragon Breath attack, I guess, can set the target on fire, similar to a Flame Breath attack. And now our Valet, or Valet, pronounced Valet, would make sense, right? Poison the thing, and then use Ultra Spears, not Hyper Spears. 5% chance when it's poisoned. We got the first 5%, no way. There's no way we just captured it at a 5% chance. What? Behind her is a diamond, which must sell for like 20k, right? I was thinking the epic emerald was gonna be like 10k a pop because regions are getting really expensive. I just spent like 30k on pal oil. This girl unfortunately is not great at fighting because she has minus 10% attack. Workaholic does make her better at working, but unstable counters that out a bit. Then she gets increased to her neutral attack damage, so her traits suck. Partner skill does heal, and she's a dark type, which we already do have a dark type, although she can do handiwork 3, so maybe we'll just leave her at base so we can always use more crafters. We've got another boss in a cave. This time it is an ice boss, and we're going to use the Suzuku we captured earlier, who has 3 flame moves to own this dude. His moves are super effective against Ice King Paka, and the Ice King Paka's moves are not very effective against it. You do have to avoid that move though, which is King Paka's slam ability. I believe the normal version of King Paka has that same ability. Suzuku got him pretty low. All that damage was from Suzuku. We're now going to send out Valet to poison him, which we did. Very nice. And we'll now try to toss some spears. 9% capture rate's not bad. We have plenty of ultra spears for this, so I'm sure we got it. And we actually get it on the second spear. Okay, this is scripted. This King Paka's stats seem really low. It's got less HP and 100 less damage than Jormuntide. His trait's not that good. It can be ridden and it can increase our carrying capacity, but I don't really care about that too much. From that capture, we unlock a new shield, plus the legendary spear, which requires pal metal ingots now. We can make those at the electric furnace, and we can now make a sword. We made the electric furnace, and we can now start making pal metal ingots, which are 4 ore now per ingot instead of refined metals 2, and regular ingots are 2. And while the workload on these metal ingots is insane, 500 for 1 versus 70 workload for refined and 10 workload for regular ingot. Before I go on a mining run, I was trying to clear up space in the inventory just to make us a bit lighter, and the spear launcher weighs 30, so I was thinking maybe, you know, let's test it out and see how good it is. Apparently it actually does nothing, and throwing pal spears is the same distance. The merchant doesn't know that though, and we're going to sell it to him for 11k plus both the diamonds for only 1250 each. That's so weird because it's an epic regent, and like these are only rare and they sell for 850 each. And late game you just need so many more materials, so I just really don't understand why the price is not increasing exponentially. If we do need money though, we can just sell nails for quite a bit. These are really cheap to make, and that's weird because like circuit boards, which are more expensive by quite a bit and like a lot more high tier, only sell for 100 a pop. Carbon fiber only sells for 12. Charcoal sells for 2. Ingots sell for 20. Some weird pricings in this game. We did make the saddle for Ice King Paka. It increases our carrying capacity by the same as the regular King Paka, which is so weird because it's a level 46 pal, whereas King Paka is level 23. The partner skill for Ice King Paka should be like level 4 maybe or something, and increase your carrying capacity by like 400 in my opinion. I think you can buff this by this system where you can sacrifice a bunch of Ice King Pakas to buff this one, but I think the partner skills should just level up as you level up. Like once you're level 40, maybe it should be partner skill level 4 or something. I don't know. We're now going on a mining mining run for Palladium fragments, and we get 240, I believe, with our increased mining rate from just these 2 nodes. And I did finally start investing points into improving carrying capacity just so we could carry more fragments on these runs, because the main way you get Palladium fragments is by mining them in dungeons. You can also turn stone into them, but the stone mine is really annoying to manage because, like I said, we can't mine ore while it's up. So I've been trying to conserve stone. We need a lot per cement. And since we are already pretty much at the end of this dungeon, I decided to complete it. And we found probably the only level 18 pal that's going to be useful for us, although it is bugged. So I guess its level 3 mining kind of sucks. I don't even know if we'll leave it at base. Back at base, I want to make this sword, but it's 30 refined ingots to make. It does do 525 damage though, and it doesn't require any ammo, which is less grind, I guess, in the long run. So we might as well just make it. We got the Rosie the Riveter squad on making this sword. And this base, we're all about women's rights. Women can do hard labor just like men. I've had Menacing back at the base for a while, and I thought he was mining full time. He can work at night, which is cool. Although for some reason he's prioritizing lumbering, and he is level 3 mining. That is mildly infuriating to witness. And it sounds like lumbering is the only thing he can do right now. He's got the stone mine over there, and then he also has coal nodes that only a miner level 3 can do. And over here there's regular ore nodes ready to mine as well. So I have no idea why he's prioritizing lumbering. Right now mining and kindling are our main 2 issues. And to get a miner level 4 and kindler level 3, we're going to try to take on this level 49 fire pal Blasmut. Shouldn't have too many problems because Jormuntide is a water pal. So that move hit Jormuntide for like 1200, even though it was not effective. It's kind of wild. Although we got another fight here where I think I can just cheese it, which they should not allow you to do. I think with these fights, you should have to enter an instance in this area. They shouldn't allow you to run back into the cave and cheese it like this. And to be fair, I don't have to abuse the fight the way I am. And I could just run into his chamber and fight him that way. But what can I say? I'm a lamer. And lamers get lit up, I guess. Oh. And am I going to die to the burn? 1 HP? Okay. So the main reason I'm choosing to lame this fight is the waypoint's really far away. So if we do fail it, we have to walk really far. That's annoying. So yeah, we're just going to cheese. And because this guy's so high level and he's fire, I decided to make a poison arrow crossbow just in case it one-shots our valet when it tries to poison him, because our valet is grass. Oh, that's not good. Ouchie. The dude is poisoned, and we just try to throw an ultra, and I think we get a back bonus for hitting him in the back. I don't know if we got it there. We can try to toss a legendary. So I did make 19 of these. And he's actually glitched, which is perfect. Yeah, poison him, and then I'm down to throw a legendary. We can just poison him today. We've done like 8 arrows just now. And I think maybe there's a cooldown between when you can hit him with status effects. There we go, we finally hit it. And 13% chance with the legendary. Get the first one. We get the next one first, a legendary throne. I'm really not sure how this happened, but it appears I've glitched through the floor like some of our pals have been doing. Got Quivering down here. Daydream also is glitched. And as you can see, I cannot jump out of it. Daydream's trying, but like me, she's stuck. And that's one way to unstuck yourself. Use the grappling gun. I should distribute grappling guns to all the pals around the base. Blasmut has this passive that increases fire attack damage by 20%. I'm not sure if all Blasmuts have it. I'm guessing they probably do. Fireball, it does a ton of damage but has a long cooldown. Ignis Blast has basically no cooldown. And then Ignis Rage also does a lot of damage but has a pretty long cooldown. Could also have him use Ignis Breath, which has less than half the cooldown, so we'll probably go with that option. The guy has really high attack and defense, probably the highest out of any pal we have so far, but for now we're going to leave him around base because he has Kindling 3 and Mining 4, and we're going to take on this Dark Dragon Astagon, and we're basically just going to throw any pal that has an ice move at it, because ice is super effective against dragon. I did again cheese this fight like I said I wasn't going to, but then I ended up getting punished for it and I glitch him into the wall. In these boss rooms though, they will unglitch themselves if they have an attack for a certain period of time, and they'll respawn back at their original spot. So we just finished them off there, and we have to throw, I think it was like 10 legendary spears to catch him. We do finally catch him though, and he now has our highest attack and defense by far. Like nothing even comes close to this. He does have 2 good traits as well, plus 10% defense and plus 10% attack, and he can be ridden as a flying mount to increase damage dealt to ore, which is such a weird partner skill. It's like, at this point, who cares about increasing your damage to ore? We're going to use Pal Souls to enhance his attack only, because we're running out of small Pal Souls. We have been fighting mediums and large ones in the higher tier zones just randomly, and it looks like we had pretty much the perfect amount to get him up to plus 24% attack, and he has 856 attack. Earlier we unlocked a hyper shield, and I just got around to crafting that. Plus we unlocked a few more things, the assault rifle plus assault rifle ammo. We crafted a bunch of that, and then Pal metal armor and Pal metal helm, and I made all that stuff. So the assault rifle does 320 damage, and I'm guessing you can just unload it, which is not something I really want to do because the ammo is so expensive. And then the Pal metal helmet is double the defense and health of our old helm. We skipped a helmet tier, so that's why it's such a big upgrade. And then the Pal metal armor's over double the defense and triple the health of our cold resistant metal armor and our heat resistant metal armor, which we were using for the volcano area. And the hyper shield is about double the shield of our giga shield. We could also put a defense pendant +1 on to give us plus 200 defense almost. I guess this just increases defense by a percentage. And never mind, we actually cannot get away with that in this next fight because it's nighttime in the desert, so it's really cold and we have to wear 2 cold resistant shirts. For this fight, I taught Astagon 3 grass moves. Even though he's not grass, he's still gonna probably own this boss because the boss is ground. And let's avoid that attack. Let's try out the assault rifle. So just fire burst shot counts of like, I don't know what that was exactly. 3, I think, for 1 shot. You're kind of getting your money's worth out of that. Wait, does it consume? Oh, it consumes multiple rounds. Oh, and you can just hold left click down. And it just constantly will, oh crap. Try to just throw a spear, I guess. Oh jeez. 14% is not bad. We didn't even hit it with the status effect or anything. I'm pretty low though. Could try to send something out to poison it, or use my poison arrow crossbow, assuming I can get that off. I don't know why this thing's on me. I need my shield to recharge. I did poison it. Very nice. 18% chance.
Yeah.
19% chance. Just keep chucking spears. This thing's really annoying. Should just take out the assault rifle. Just blast it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Oh, have to reload. We got the first 19 by the way. Oh, we got it. Very nice. This thing gets 20% increase to earth attack damage and has a random trait that lowers his hunger rate. He also has 3 skills that are special to him, and you can look over those if you want. Plus, as long as he's out, we get extra ground damage on our attacks. We don't really need ground damage for our upcoming fights, but he does have 650 attack, not as much defense, but a ton of HP. We will probably need his power in this next fight. This Frostaline is evidently legendary, and it does have 13k health as an alpha, which is nuts. And it just ripped apart Blasmit with that last attack, even though it's not effective. And you can see the damage is gray. His HP is still just going down so quick. What to toss out Anubis. 2100 damage on Anubis with that attack. So this is definitely a fight that we're gonna need some help probably. And by help I mean I need to help myself find a better tactic. Like actually the boss is over there and I just flew over to this side and the boss could not get to us. Kind of funny how they haven't designed these boss areas to account for their pathing. Like you would think this would be another boss where you have to fight them inside of a special zone just because it's, you know, a legendary boss. Okay, is he glitched out right now? Maybe he just likes getting hit in the rear. I think he's trying to charge at me, but he can't get to me, so he's just stuck. I do feel kind of robbed out of this fight though. Like, you should have to spend more attempts to figure out a tactic like this. Like, come on, just jump on this big patch of snow right in the middle of the boss arena. You would think they would have done some playtesting on this or something. Pretty sure this is a flying mount as well, so how is it getting stuck there? I don't know. Either way, fire damage is definitely the way to go on this guy. You set him on fire, then it's dealing 75 damage per tick because status effects are percentage. Speaking of status effects, I should try to hit him with the poison crossbow. And poison is dealing 68 damage per second or whatever. I should have probably waited till he got really low because I do stand by my theory that when you're using the poison crossbow or the flame crossbow at least, there's a time period where they can't get poisoned or set on fire again. And yeah, you would think this thing would have unglitched itself by now. But no, it is just content to get flame blasted in the rear. Maybe it has a cold rear or something. It's set on fire. Might as well just try to toss a legendary. 9% chance. Probably gonna unglitch itself. So we gotta keep that in mind. Nope. That actually is gonna hit. Oh wow. I did not think that was gonna hit. He's still poisoned, so I really want to keep trying. 10% chance. I mean, that's not bad. We only have 9 legendaries left though. And if we miss the legendaries, then there's just no way, right? Oh, there we go. He's finally attacking again. This is gonna suck if he kills our Plasmid too, because Plasmid's the only firepower I brought with me. Not knowing that this guy was so beastly. Poisoned with one of those. Oh jeez. Got the 11. And we caught him, let's go. So first of all, this thing can be ridden at level 48, and it's a much quicker flying mount than the one we currently have. Its attack is insanely high, and we should have saved Power Souls to boost its attack. So HP stays at 13k as well. Holy. Well, I definitely misplayed by dumping my Power Souls on the other dragon. Legend increases attack and defense and movement speed, and I'm pretty sure it will always have this trait. It also gets 20% increased ice attack damage, and Sadis increases attack by another 15, lowers his defense. I really wish we had more Power Souls to boost the attack, because we could get some huge numbers there. It does have cooling level 4, so I think we'll just leave it around base. I'm just kidding. As for its skills, it only has one exclusive. This one dashes forward, which is nice for a mount. And I think I might just grind up to level 48 so we can check out this skill and check it out as a mount. We should get quite a bit of XP from this next fight, which is against 2 legendaries, Palladius and Necromus. I'm going to try to have Frostalion just solo this, because we did leave our main dude, who was going to be really good in this fight, back at home, because I went on a mining run. Our Frostalion doing what we've already seen a Frostalion do best, glitching out and doing nothing. And that's gonna be it for that attempt. So I quit out of the game and came back in, and Frostland is working as intended now. And we're gonna have it just own this dragon boss, because ice is super effective against dragons. Off of this, we get a level up to 47 to grind a bit more XP. I kill this lower level boss, but we don't get that much. And then while we're on our way to the next boss, we run into a shiny Mossandra. Capturing this does give us quite a bit of XP, and I'm hoping this dragon boss will get us to the next level, assuming Frostalion will stop loafing around. Seems like that's what it's doing right now. There's a mechanic in Pokemon where I believe if you're not high enough level to use a certain Pokemon, sometimes it will just ignore your commands. And I'd like to think that's what's going on here. It's not a bug. I think that'd be kind of funny. The thing is so powerful. That'd be like its drawback, you know? Its drawback is that it doesn't obey the player. I had to exit out of the game again. No, I didn't mean to do that. Came back in and it's working now. And Frostlion just melts through this dragon water boss, literally, because Frost is super effective against dragons. And that is the level up that we've been looking for. We can now craft the Frostlion saddle and mount this thing. I think Jet Dragon may be an easier fight than the 2 legendaries, so we're going to attempt to take it out. And we build a base right below it. I set up this metal bunker with 2 machine guns pointing outwards, and we got Anubis and Godvin Ignis assigned to the machine guns. And Jet Dragon's actually coming over here to check out what we got going on. It's moving right in front of the machine guns. So I'm going to aggro it, and then let's see what it does. I didn't mean to do that. Ouchie. It's hot indeed. I'm trying to dismount in here, but it's the same key to dismount as it is to open chests and stuff. So you can't actually dismount if there's a nearby chest. Okay, if we're being honest, that was a completely failed attempt. Are we actually loading the ammo right now, by the way? I think just glitched in the... It's glitched. This guy's just loading ammo, I think. I put a bunch of ammo in this chest, and I think he actually is loading some. Where'd Jet Dragon go? What you doing, buddy? Buddy old pal. Oh, Frostlion got knocked out. That's not good. I'll have to put him in the pal box. Hopefully Jet Dragon doesn't mind. I think this is actually more important that I put him in the pal box. Maybe get killed here, because he has to spend time to revive. Apparently Jet Dragon's moves can go through the wall. This is not an ideal strat. Okay, Jet Dragon kind of glitched out and then he went back to his original spawn point. We're going to try to aggro him back over to our base. Get him to get over here. Nope, we're out of stamina, so I can't fly fast. Got lucky there. Wait, what? Just killed a boss? And okay, Jet Dragon, what are you doing, man? I don't know how we killed him. Maybe it was from the machine guns? This little floppy was mounting the machine gun, and all of a sudden Jet Dragon's dead. You do the math on that. We haven't used much ammo though, so that's a little bit strange. Jet Dragon, I believe, is a 30-minute respawn, so we're gonna try these guys again. This time we're a bit better prepared, as we brought Asagon, who is super effective against Necromus. He doesn't take much damage from Necromus. And actually, never mind, that dude is just getting owned. Couldn't really figure out a strat to beat them legit, so as usual, we're gonna resort to cheese by dragging him behind these trees. And they essentially just get stuck on the trees, and you're still able to shoot them through the tree. And while they're aggroed on you, you can have a pal wail on them from behind. They also have moves which can only hit you if you're on the ground, so using a flying mount that's quick, that can evade their projectiles, is another way to cheese it. They are both legendary, and one gets 20% increase to dark damage, and the other gets 20% increase to neutral damage. And since we're pretty much done with the game, we're not really going to use these guys, except we're going to use Palladius once. So I rebuilt a bunker on much flatter grounds, and we got the same pals manning it. We also have a ton of rifle ammo in this metal chest, which I'm pretty sure is a required ammo for these machine guns. We're now going to aggro Jet Dragon over to the bunker, and we're going to see how these mounted machine guns perform, if they perform at all. We aggroed it again. We'll try not to go too far away this time. What the heck is going on here with this thing? Okay, I'm just going to dismount, and then I'm going to try to get these guys in combat. Yeah, attack these guys. Okay, it's just completely missing. There we go. They're actually shooting at it. A little aggro on me though, which is not good, and I also have crappy armor on, because I need armor OT protection. They are shooting at it though, which is pretty nice. Our Anubis is dealing more damage than the Godfin Ignis because it's higher level, I guess. That's interesting. And yeah, 2 damage only from the Godfin, whereas Anubis is dealing 6. That is quite interesting, because they're both using the same gun. I also wonder how much ammo we've used in this process. Oh, we used a ton. We chewed through 100 ammo in that fight and did basically no damage. Okay, well that obviously was not the strat. I put a ton of pals in the base, and we're just gonna have them fight the Jet Dragon for us. After a few minutes, pretty much everyone's knocked out. And the Jet Dragon is at half HP though, and now it's sleeping. That's a lot of damage. It's awake now. Oh crap, run away. Everyone should wake up here in a second. It's hard to see what's going on because everyone's so massive. There is a mod to reduce the size of your pals, which I think would be very helpful, especially with the challenge like this where everyone's alpha and they're huge. Thing's burning. Might be able to toss a spear at it. There we go. 8% capture chance is not bad. Just keep spamming. I'm getting pretty low, but we got the first 9. Missed it though. Got the 7. Got the 35. That means we caught it. Very nice. We did catch it, but at what cost? So Jet Dragon keeps his massive 11k HP health pool, has a decent amount of attack, but not that much defense. He, of course, is legendary, plus he gets 20% increase to dragon attack damage. We should probably have him use dragon moves. He doesn't know Dragon Cannon, unfortunately, which is, I think, the 2-second cooldown dragon ability. He does have an exclusive skill, fires beams at the enemy. Then for his other ability, I guess we'll just have him use Dragon Burst, the AoE ability. It's got less cooldown than Draconic Breath. And then I also taught him Implode, and I want to see what happens when we have him use this, because it kills him, but it does a ton of damage. His random trait is negative, so he's bad at working around the base, unfortunately. So we're not going to have him be the most amazing gatherer ever. And he can be ridden as a flying mount next level, and we do the mass to be able to make his saddle, and we might get the XP we need from these bosses. This first one's a Dragon Electric Hybrid, so Frost is going to be really powerful here. And yeah, his longer cooldown ice ability does 4,500 damage, and the slightly lower cooldown one does 2,200. I just ran around in circles, and Frost Lion's able to solo him. And for winning that fight, we get about half the XP we need to be able to make Jet Dragon's saddle. The next tower boss is a fire boss, so I brought Drummondtide, our water pal. He's getting owned pretty hard though, because this fire boss does also have, I think, 2 electric moves. I'm gonna have Jet Dragon just implode on this thing, and we're gonna see how much damage that does. Oh, there he goes. He's gonna implode. And I don't even think he actually connected there. We weren't doing enough damage to the boss to beat his timer, so I decided to back out, kill the Ice King Paka to get up to 50, so that we could finally mount the Jet Dragon and we could maneuver around the map really quick. And the main thing we're looking for right now is a way to make ammo for our assault rifle. To get ammo, I opted to make a mining base on this hill, which has like 6 or 7 sulfur nodes, and all I really did for the base was just set up the essentials, a couple coolers, and I put some flooring over some of the lava lava, which does seem to help a bit. But even with that being said, it seems like only flying pals are really able to mine in this area. The dig toys keeps getting stuck in the ground. We now have pretty much unlimited ammo for this fight. And if we ride this Azurobe, it adds water damage to our attacks. And while we're doing a ton of damage, 370 something for a headshot, 230 for a body shot, and it's counting as a crit because we're getting water damage on our attacks. Without that bonus, we're only dealing half the damage, I think. So yeah, it's basically just doubling our damage output because our shots are now super effective. This guy does have some electric attacks, so I gotta be careful of that because Azurobe might just get owned. Once it gets down a little bit lower, then I'll probably just summon another pal to help me out for a little while because we are doing good on time. It's only been 2 minutes and we've already taken out a third of his HP. We eventually finish off the boss and you just get ancient tech points for all these boss fights. So that's why I kind of put them off and didn't really see a need to do them. For this next fight, we're going to use a similar strategy involving Chillet. It adds dragon damage to players' attacks while mounted. And we actually have 2 Chillets now. We found a shiny one randomly and I didn't even think it was worth going over because I didn't think we'd ever use it. But since it is lucky rather, not shiny, it gets more attack. And this trait gives it 10% increase to our defense. So that's useful. And then it doesn't need to eat as much. We've been getting a lot of pals with this trait. We have a very skinny pal lineup. It also randomly, I believe, got lightning bolt. But yeah, we're not going to really care about its abilities too much. To buff up both our Chillets so they don't get one-shotted, we're going to grind their levels up a bit. And we're going to use that same strategy that we just used on the boss to take out this Blazamut, which is currently owning us a little bit. We got stunned there, so I couldn't move. It's actually not owning us, though. It's almost dead. And we've only been fighting it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds was that? One Blazamut kill gets both the Chillets all the way up to level 49 and 48, which is fine. We don't need them to get any higher. We're now at the final boss fight, Victor and Shadowbeak, and I think this might be our final fight in the game. The first thing we're going to do here is have Palladius implode on the boss, which is going to kill the Palladius, but it should do a ton of damage because Palladius is neutral, the same skill type as implode. Hopefully Palladius doesn't get owned before he can get the ability off, though. That would be kind of tragic. This guy is doing dark damage as well, which is super effective against the Palladius. So he just needs to blow himself up. And in fact, in order to make him do that, I removed his other abilities, so he can only implode now. He seems to be kind of loafing around right now, not doing what his main purpose in life is. There we go. Let's get closer to the boss too. So we'll okay, that was really lackluster. Even with the fact that I used all of our Pal Souls to buff its attack, that skill did not do nearly as much damage as I thought it was going to. Okay, well now for phase 2 of our plan, I made a rocket launcher with rocket ammo, and this stuff is grossly expensive. Oh, there goes that attempt. Okay, third in what should probably be the final attempt, I made the cold resistant Pal metal armor, which is the final tier armor. Wow, that actually owned the Chillet way harder than it owned me. It's good we have 2 Chillets though. That Chillet's down. You need to be a little bit more careful with the Chillets. The rocket launcher does deal more damage if you hit the boss in the head. As you'd imagine, a rocket to the head does not feel good. So that's something that, oh wow, and that Chillet's down too. Okay, I'm probably just gonna reset this because I don't want to waste any more rocket ammo. And I put both the Chillets back in the PAL box. We gotta wait for 10 minutes for them to come back. Just kind of a stupid rule. There's a mod that removes this mechanic, so I guess if PALs get to 0 HP, they'll just slowly regenerate instead of you having to physically put them in the PAL box for 10 minutes. New plan is if either Chillet takes pretty much any damage whatsoever, just unsummon it and then just let it passively regenerate. It is getting down to the wire. We have 3 minutes left. And it's down to about 33% or 25%. I'm not sure. It is kind of important that we know exactly. Oh, that's a lot of damage. And both Chillets are actually weak right now. And then we'll summon Jet Dragon, and he does dragon damage, which is super effective against the boss. So it's not the worst thing that we have him out, but our rockets are not super effective right now, and they're only dealing 2k. But Jet Dragon is pounding on the boss, and his attacks are all super effective, so maybe it is better that he's out. Like, that's a lot of damage right there. I just missed my rocket. That was the first rocket I actually missed, to be fair. Oh, Jet Dragon can also set the boss on fire, so maybe for that reason it is just worth it to always have him. I'm getting kind of low here. Gotta be careful. Well, he's on 15k. We're definitely on the right track to killing him. Question is, can I just survive here? This is kind of a scary attack. Guess you can line of sight it though. My shield's back up, so it should be okay here. Thankfully, the rocket splash can't kill the player, I think. It's down to 4.7k. I think one rocket with the Chillet to the face should be enough. No, not quite. We can finish him off with the assault rifle. And there we go. One of the assault rifle was just a better way to go all around. We were hitting it for like what, 250, and you can shoot 20 assault rifle rounds. But yeah, that's the final boss, and we did beat it within 100 days, and I'll leave this part unedited so you guys know I'm not, you know, pulling any weird stuff with the editing. I could have maybe screenshotted day 100 before we actually got to day 100, but this way you know that I'm not, you know, pulling any funny stuff. And yeah, we accomplished all of our goals by day 99, which was pretty cool. I will say the last 30 to 40 days or so, I stopped treating this as kind of a speed run, and I started playing a lot more casually. Like I'd leave the game on running while I went to make dinner or something, and I started using the bed to sleep during the night, which pretty much has no benefit. You essentially just skip the night cycle, and before I was trying to get as much done during the night as I could. But yeah, final thoughts, the game is definitely in early access. I'm not sure I see myself coming back to the game to, you know, kind of re-explore this format unless there's some serious changes, maybe an expansion. And to be fair, they have been updating the game a lot. Like just recently they actually fixed Dig Toys, and you can see now when he's working at the base, he's dealing 10 damage per hit to the node instead of, what was it, like 2? There are a lot of bugs in the game, but A, it is early access, and B, the developers of this game are a really small studio, and I don't think they intended the game to blow up as much as it did. The game has generated $600 million in revenue, so one would hope that they're going to use that to hire more developers, and I'll definitely be paying attention to what they're doing. If they do implement a really good PvP system, then the game could be huge, but as we've seen with games like Pokemon, for example, money's not going to buy you everything. The Pokemon company's worth over 100 times what Palworld has generated, and Pokemon's not making any products that interest me at all. So yeah, time will tell if Palworld makes the right moves. And I will say I really enjoyed the first, I don't know, like 20 or 30 days maybe, and the game did kind of fall off on its ability to hold my attention, and the game started to become more of a grind than fun. Like early game it was just all fun, and then as you progress it gets more and more grindy and the fun becomes less and less. If you are liking this 100 days format, then drop a like on the video. Let me know in the comments what you feel like I could have done differently, or let me know what other games you'd like to see with this same format. And with that, I want to thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.